All right, I am live tonight, coming to you through Google Hangout. Why? My phone's dead, and I didn't really feel like charging it. So this seemed like an easier way. So like, fuck it, why not, right? Like, just totally fuck it. We're gonna do it live. We're just gonna do it fucking live and shit. God damn it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let me just tweet some of this shit out to people so they can come and chill. Chill with the shill. Some people might say it. Nah. All right. Get my horrible spelling taken care of and posting that out there to the interwebs. So how are you guys tonight? You guys doing pretty good? I know it's like 11:05 p.m. right now, Pacific Standard. A little bit late for all of you on the East Coast. For some of the audience that's over across the pond, it's really early. So if you're just getting up for your Wednesday at work, stick with me as I take you through some insane stories, some good stuff to talk about. I have no fucking idea if it's going to be any good, but it's going to be something. So that's at the end of the day, though, that's pretty much all we can ask for, right? That's like all we can ask for, is that it's something. You know, that it's just something, and that's good. Let me just try to get the live control room to work. There we go. All right. Stream status is okay, according to this. Let's bring up the chat. Mr. Shadow says, darn it, Matt, I was just going to watch Big Butt Korean MILFs. Multitask, motherfucker. You can do both. You know, mute me and go back to them. Finish what you're doing. By my guess, your Big Butt Korean MILFs, you're looking at maybe a 30 to 45 second jerk fest. Then you come. 2 minutes to clean up, wash your hands. Be sure to wash your hands. You always wash your hands after masturbation. Then you come back and you chill out. And that's how you do it. That's how you do it, goddammit. That is how you fucking do it. That's that. That's how you do it. Void, no, the Amazon affiliate link goes to the Switch, but it's good for anything on Amazon, provided you buy it. Not just put it in your cart, but buy it within like 24 hours. All right. Get myself my drink. My nice carbonated water. LaCroix. What is this? Raspberry. Cran raspberry. All natural flavors. Carbonated water. Basically, it's just like carbonated shit with a little bit of raspberry. It's all right. So, what's going on, Tony? How are you, man? Yes, Kevin. Wank and chill. Carlos, I don't know, man. You come to this stream quite often. What is it that I say? Here's the funny thing. So I did a stream the other night telling a story, and I used the terminology on the hunt for some cunt, right? And then my father and my stepmother came over to my place today, and my dad was talking about it, and he goes, "What was that you said, son? What was that? The H to the hunt for the C? What was that? Like, what is it that you said that was horrible that I want you to repeat in front of your stepmother?" And I'm like, "Oh, you mean hunt for some cunt?" And my stepmother's like, "Matthew." I'm like, "You wanted me to say it?" You know, is that like when you're a your child is young and you're just like, "Hey, Billy, say cocksucker, and they're like, "Cocksucker, cocksucker, big booty, nipple bitches," things like that. You get your kids to say the darndest things, but when they're older, you also get them to say the darndest things, so then they get in trouble. That's what I think is going to happen here. Yeah, Veronica, I'm on my computer. I'm on my Yeti. So the mic quality is going to be a lot better. My parents watch my vids. My father watches my vids. My mom doesn't. My mom doesn't really YouTube. My stepmom doesn't either. My cousins, maybe. My sister, yes. My brother, well, no, my brothers don't. My brothers will meet people who have met me and they will kind of be like, yeah, my brother's Mundane Matt, like as if that's going to get them something on the side. It's not going to benefit them at all. They're going to probably more often than not hear, my God, I'm so sorry that your brother is that guy. And they'll be like, yeah, well, I mean, like he's my half brother and I never get to see him. And, you know, I mean, it's like, I know he exists, but I don't really spend any time with them. Like they're going to use it like for when it's cool, you know, like, oh yeah, we're totally tight. But when like some shit comes up, they'll be like, oh, no, half brother. And not only half biologically related. So clearly I'm the other half of that. Chuck Fig says, help me write a 7-page for tomorrow. 7-page what, paper? I don't know what you want me to help you write, man. Mundad Matt, that's pretty funny. You nested a butt, eh, Riley? yeah, no, exactly, Ray. You picture a video game parody of Duck Hunt called Cunt Hunt. I could just imagine that it's going to be featuring Donald Trump as he navigates the streets of Los Angeles driving a Access Hollywood bus. Cunt Hunt, starring Donald John Trump. Don John Trump. That's his name. Was that his name in the 80s? Was it Don John Trump? Did he go by that when he was single? It's like Don Johnson, Don John Trump. Can't tell the difference. Both are rich, both are famous, both are powerful, but only one of them lives in New York City. You can hear it in Matt's voice that he devours that sweet, sweet smeg. No. So, Graydon, you want me to bring back Bryce? Oh, Bryce was a bad one. Did I hear Onision started a Patreon? I did not hear that Onision started a Patreon. How is it? You know, it's bad when a dude with like 1 million subscribers for like 2 channels, like a couple channels with 1 million subscribers, is all like, I need a Patreon. Like, you know, it's bad, and it is bad, but that's pretty damn funny. So yeah, the GIF that Comic Exchange made was definitely a mood of that outdoor stream. If you don't know what Comic Exchange show did, he made a GIF of Bigfoot walking through the woods. It's that old video, you know, the famous one. And then like when Bigfoot turns and looks at the camera, then he cut over to me, high as hell on a getting creeped out by a grill that was there. The only thing I would recommend that he do in that, because I like the GIF quite a bit, is that the reaction, like from when Bigfoot turns to when I react, you need to shave off about probably 1/3 of a second. I would say maybe a few frames just to tighten up the reaction, because I feel there's a little bit of a slowdown leading into it. It's got to be that instant reaction, not like the turn my head and then kind of see it and then react. I was stoned, man. So it's not one of those things where, you know, you're going to see, like, you want to make sure in that particular regard that it is okay. So, oh no, hold on, Bogsy. Did you just send it to me? I haven't checked yet. Let me check. All right. Send it again. Send it again if I haven't seen it yet. Sometimes I don't get sent tweets. It's just Twitter is fucking itself complete. Oh wait, hold on. Here we go. Okay, there you go. Wait, the grill attacks again. Make sure it's not hiding in the new swamp. See, that's better. You cut it a lot better on that one. And I like that the grill is in there. That's pretty good. Grills did Matt 2017. Exactly. Tony, I could be on the PS4 playing something. I could be on that. I thought about that tonight. I was like, oh, how should I do it? Like, I'm lazy and I don't really feel like showing my face, even though I did shave and shower today. So it's kind of like, you know, whatever. And then I'm like, I could play video games, but I don't know if people like that. So I don't know. I mean, my audience doesn't really seem to I don't know. If you guys want, I mean, I could sit there and play like Hitman or play other games and shit. The grill is my new co-host. That's right. Hold on. What Riley says here, I watched the Monday match show you uploaded, and the mother of the daddy of 5 kids isn't the mother. She's a stepmom. Oh no, I know she's a stepmom, but she's like the mom. And she was known as Mommy of 5 or Mommy 05. The whole point of that story was the fact that they hired a PR company in order to protect them, to cover their bases. You know, that they need a crisis management company in order to protect their image because they straight fucked it up. Right? Like these are bad people. Play Outlast 2. I don't have Outlast 2. Carlos says, I watch your shit while gaming. I don't need you gaming too. But that could be gamingception. So I don't know. Sarah Fine says it works for Rich. Why not you? I've done the video game footage over the videos, and that definitely like it for me, that became way too much work. Like just way too much work in order to do that. Because it's like, yeah, I'll get to play games. And then it's like, cool, I get to play games. And then I need to capture the footage. And then I need to like render out the footage. And then I need to make sure that I play long enough in order to maximize the usage of the footage. And it just becomes this like everyday slog of playing games. And games should be fun, but it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, if I could sit there and play the game through a stream, record the footage of that, and then use that as footage for future videos, then that would just be doubling down and lazy as fuck, but I think it might work out. So, did I have fans before Rich? Yes, I had fans before Rich. Motherfucker, I had like 17,000. No, I had 22,000 subscribers before I met Rich of Review Tech USA. So yes, I had plenty of fans before Rich. Now, working with Rich multiple times has helped me gain more fans, of which that's cool. But no, I had people before then. And I don't really like to say the word fans. That feels very pretentious, right? Doesn't it? It sounds a little pretentious, right? Like, well, my fans. Like, Jesus. You know, but this, I mean, like, I don't know if I want to say like, you know, like what's Philip the Finger say? What's up, nation? You know, or like Angry Joe, like the AGA army or whatever. And it's all like the AGA and it's like the army. And I'm like, I don't know. What do I call my, like, what would I call what I call them? Like, I think we actually know we had a term for a while, a joking term for a while, and they were like going to be called scallywags or some such shit, you know, because the skulls and everything and at that. So there's that. I did hear about the Rose Parade being canceled. That's going to be on the docket tomorrow for the Mundane Match show. Today's videos were a little bit late, and that was because my dad and my stepmom showed up and wanted to see the new place. And then I'm like, oh, God damn it. I got to like talk to them, and then they were here for like an hour and a half. I got to edit. I got to, you know, no, no problem. I like seeing them, so it's totally cool. It's so funny that when you work from home, you figure you have all the time in the world to do everything. You have all this time in the world, and then you really don't. You really, honestly don't. It's kind of funny how that works out. What's up, pesky ad watchers? At this point, though, shit, man, like I'm still trying to figure out like what exactly is gonna help the channel, because like I'm still trying to understand what YouTube is doing. Like the last time they posted an update about the ad stuff, it was like the tail end of last month. So now it's just waiting. Did I find a part-time job? I have not found one yet. I was offered to go and apply at a car dealership in town. I met someone who worked there, and they were like, come on down and apply. And that was very nice of them to do that. But they were like, you can come work in our Tire Lube Express department. And I'm just like, I don't even know how to change my own oil. Shit. I bought a car with a 7-year warranty so I could go get that taken care of for me. So thanks a lot, John Fortune. I'm glad you like the new format of the show. I do too. It's a little bit more work in terms of the build up for it, because I basically pre-build the assets in OBS before recording. So the video yesterday was all in one shot. Today I had a couple screw ups, so I had to edit it after the fact, but it still came out to be all right. And it allows me to go in there and figure out timestamps and everything, so people can like, you know, jump to the story that they want to see. But I like it, and soon I'll be definitely like probably showing my face. I might do some more post editing But honestly, this is the thing, and this will get better over time. But I'll tell you this: today I was like overloaded with stories to talk about. Like, I mean, like, 4 or 5 is kind of what I want to do. But I was like, I sat there for a while going like, oh my God, there's like so many things. And like, what do I talk about? Like, how do I talk about it? And like, when it's just like 3 videos a day on something, and that's what I was doing, I could just go, okay, I'll talk about this, and be done with it. Right. But the way things are, like, this is going to take a little bit of time to build up into something that is bigger. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to take a little bit more time to build up, which is fine with me. I'm totally cool with that, but it's like, basically, because of the change of format, I have to then basically rebuild with the new audience. I have to kind of build from there. And that is going to take a little bit of time. There are people out there, like, I think I lost like 50 subscribers today. People are like, I don't like you using your real name. And I'm all like, well, that's my name. And like, there's nothing wrong with using my real name. My face is out there. Why not my fucking name? My name is already Googleable anyway, So it's kind of like figuring out how to do it in a way that's going to, in the long run, be beneficial. And again, it's building towards something, and I have no problem doing it. I built the channel to where it is right now, but ultimately, and I'll be honest with you guys, I wasn't like really liking where it was going. I didn't like the constant fight. I made a jab about Steven Crowder on Twitter tonight, and I had a whole bunch of his like defenders, and like, you just don't get it because you don't like politics. I'm all like, dude, wait, like, I love politics. I just don't find him to be particularly funny. Like, that's what it boils down to. It's not his beliefs I'm disagreeing with, even though I may disagree with them in general, but my criticisms are not about his political leanings. My criticisms are about his own actions. And I don't find his joke delivery to be funny. But then again, you can't criticize certain people. And it's so funny too. And I know some people out there might be somewhere along the line of being somewhat, let's say, right leaning and whatever. But you have to admit, there are people on either political spectrum that are very snowflakey, and it's not just relegated to the left. There are people on the right that are super fucking sensitive. Any little thing will just be all like, make them lose their shit. You ever want to piss off a super conservative person? Just say abortion is good. Even if you don't believe it, just say it and watch them go, it's wrong, because they get fucking triggered by it. You don't have to be left leaning to be triggered. Anyone can be fucking triggered. Yeah, lots of cat comments. That's always good. Oh, thank you very much, Shikibar. I appreciate that. John Fortune, if you get most of your politics from me, you should probably diversify. And I say that for anything. My politics are what they are. Other people's might be what they are, but it's good to get a different perspective. Like, I feel like even myself, sometimes I find myself listening to people that I agree with more often than not. And it's like, that's such a hard habit to break. It's a hugely hard habit to watch somebody of which you vehemently like disagree with. And I fail on that all the fucking time, because I'm all like, well, I'm just going to watch this channel because this channel is more like leaning my perspective. It might be, I think that's one of the reasons why I still watch the Young Turks. I cannot stand it when they get on their fucking moral high horse and they start casting down blame on society to people who don't act like them. But then again, they're also like the biggest progressive news media organization on YouTube. And it's like, you guys talk about shit I find interesting, and we're kind of on the same side politically. I just disagree with most of the shit that they do. And it's like, my biggest problem with them comes in the same way, probably why I don't like people like Steven Crowder as much, is because they don't try to have a conversation. Ultimately, they just talk down to the other side. There's not a lot of dialogue there. It's just insults and then that, like, it's insults and talking down. And it's like, I think there's better ways to go about it. I do. I think there's better ways to go about it at all. So, yeah, the Young Crazies. I mean, I wish they were better. I do. If I ever went, like, could get a chance to go on there and like talk to them, I think I would be able to be more of a moderate person, and they would be more like cooler, maybe. So there's that. John Fortune, there's a lot on talk radio. I wish there was more left leaning stuff on talk radio. It's all right leaning. So like, honestly, one of the reasons why I still have Sirius XM, I still pay for that fucking service. I need to get rid of it, but I haven't yet. Is because I listen to like Fox, CNN, and MSNBC. Like I jump back and forth quite a bit. I just keep jumping back and forth, and because I listen to all three. But the thing is that when you listen to that much news, a lot of the punditry just runs together. It just runs together, and it just gets to be a little bit too old after a while. So yeah. Riley, the whole thing with it is, though, is a lot of people think like you. A lot of people are afraid to give their opinion on political issues, because if they're not like their friends, you're gonna run into problems. I mean, like, I lost a lot of friends on Facebook because I didn't jump on the, hey, let's all hate on Donald Trump bandwagon. I'm all like, well, let's not vilify all of his supporters. How about that? And then people were just like, nope, we're gone. I'm like, okay, well, if that's how you feel, I don't give a shit then. Boggsy, you feel very Dave Rubin about Steve Crowder. I don't know what Dave Rubin says about Steve Crowder. Yeah, it's a money drain. It is a money drain. It is. The thing is, though, like I love like their 90s and 80s stations. I listen to a lot of that as well. Like sometimes it's nice to get in the car and listen to like 90s play mix. You know what I mean? And I know I could do it myself, but it's just kind of cool to like not know what's coming down the pipeline and be like, ooh, all right, it's Hadaway. What is love? And then it's like, just groove to that for a while. But yeah, I should get rid of it. Bill O'Reilly, Bill O'Reilly is going to come back. He'll be on another show. He'll be like, he'll end up, Bill O'Reilly is probably going to come back to Fox. Probably something along those lines, is going to come back. Let's see. Hold on. Comic says here, Matt, I feel like you'd be more open, but I do have opinions that differ from yours. But the idea is to get people to talk instead of using slings and arrows. Is the first time differing opinion? Yeah, that's true. You want to like try to be more open and more willing to have discussions. Like my girlfriend's mom is very, very, very like right wing, and that's mostly because of her boyfriend, and he always watches Fox, like always, and he hates everything like the left does. But then if you get her in a conversation and you get her talking and you ask her questions, her responses aren't always like the right stance. They're not always like a hard-lined right opinion. And it's like and it is like I like to say, we are all like kind of like gender fluid when it comes to politics. Not everything is one thing. Not everything is one look, one take on it. There's multiple takes, but we need to find a way to get back to a more centrist, moderate approach. And I'll tell you this, though, I will fucking tell you this. You want to know the best way to do that is to find a way to stop gerrymandering. Oh my God. Who are, redrawing the districts and shit. That should never fucking happen. Should never fucking be allowed to happen. Right? Redrawing districts is the stupidest goddamn thing ever. And it's so ridiculous. I would say get rid of gerrymandering, like above getting rid of the Electoral College. And I'm definitely against the Electoral College. Have I checked your mail yet? What mail? Like, I don't know, Kano Doom, what did you send me? I'm checking my mail now. I don't see anything. Nothing there, so I don't know what you're asking me for. Mundane audience. Wait, hold on. Mundane audience political compass survey a la Sargon. I don't. Oh, you mean like what, that political compass thing or whatever? Veronica asks, would you ever have your own TV show if it was offered to you? Yeah, totally. Right. Like I always love that line at the end of Mallrats when they ask Brody, have you ever thought about hosting your own talk show? And his response of like, yeah, it wasn't even a second thought. I was like, I totally would do that. I think it'd be a lot of fun. If I were ever to like host like a late night comedy show, I would fucking straight up go take improv classes. I would go learn more about comedy and how to do it well, to get ready for that kind of shit. So hold on. Which email did you send that to, Kano? I get a lot of emails a day, so it's you gotta fucking. Oh, okay. I see you sent me a couple emails. Okay. Oh, you sent me an invite on Discord. Yeah, when I jump on Discord later, I'll jump in there. So yeah, there's that. Oh, okay. Yeah, see, the thing is, Bogsy, that's not really what I'm about. I don't really want to kind of go down that pathway. I don't want to get involved in that sort of thing. It's one of the reasons why I don't want to I don't like to call myself a journalist. I look at myself as very much a commentator, i.e. a pundit. I look at myself as like that particular aspect. And the reason why I look at it like that is because I don't want to be part of the story. Like I'm here to comment on things, not get directly involved. And I feel like that's a fine line that you don't always get the opportunity to walk. You know what I mean? Like when I went down to the Not My President protest, I didn't interview anybody. I wasn't there for their experience. I was there for my experience and to see what I could find. And I got flashbanged. And that was cool. You know what I mean? Like that people like, oh, you're a journalist now. And I'm like, no, if I was a journalist, I would have talked to other people. I was just there for me, And so that's kind of how I approach things. And that might be a very selfish or self-centered approach to it. But I feel like being as hands-off as humanly possible in these particular situations makes it better to be as objective as humanly possible. And that's one of the reasons why I don't interject myself in like YouTube drama. I don't interject myself in a lot of that online shit. I mean, I'm not saying I never have. I totally have. But I try not to do it very often. And that's because I don't feel like I can remain objective if I'm inside it. Sorry you're sick right now, Tracy. Hope you feel better. Is it a problem when hold on? Fucking chat. Okay, is it a problem when a scriptwriter needs a TV/film in the background when writing? Yes, it actually is a problem. Reason why is because your subconscious is at that point going to be working. Like your subconscious will pick up on what you're watching or listening to in the background, and you might find yourself ripping off like plot lines and characters whole cloth and not even realizing that you're doing it. Your best bet is to find music. I would recommend like instrumental music that can that allows you to kind of activate your mind to think, or just music in general. For me, I would go listen to like 90s dance mixes. Really just kind of helps me focus when I want to write. So there's a lot of that. Also, this is going to sound really weird, but if you're going to have like a cramming session for writing, you want to go in there as like loose and open as you can be. So I fully recommend going to the bathroom first, and also cranking one out. You don't want to go into a writing session with a loaded gun. That's just another thing on your mind. You want to just expel all bowels and then be ready to work. And that's my advice to you for that one. Who was the best American president, in my opinion? Dimitri asks. I think each president has the pros and cons. I mean, maybe not like Bush Senior or Junior or Reagan. Kennedy was pretty dope. I liked Kennedy quite a bit. I like to think of what we could have accomplished under Kennedy had he not been assassinated, or what we could have accomplished under Robert Kennedy if he wasn't assassinated. But probably like if you just look at like overall growth, Christ, dude, fucking Clinton did a good job. No, he wasn't without his problems, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, he still did pretty well economically for us. Granted, the internet helped out with that. So Trump's all right. Yeah, Trump's not Trump. I don't understand how people can like still defend him the way that they do. I don't get it. I just don't. I mean, like I understand like there's brand loyalty with Trump. I get that. There's brand loyalty with him. But like I don't think anyone could sit there and like really look at everything he hasn't accomplished in his first 100 days almost and be like, yeah, he's done a pretty good job. Like, no, he hasn't. Any tips for how to get better at talking? just keep talking. That's like the best way to find a job that makes you talk with people, or take improv classes. It just helps out. Don the Con. Yeah. No, thanks a lot, Kano Doom. I will add you on Discord. The Bill Nye, I haven't seen Bill Nye Saves the World. I saw that video clip with Rachel Bloom, and my head hurt after watching that. Like, I thought about talking about that on today's episode of the Mundane Match Show. I did. I thought about bringing it up. I thought about that, and I thought to myself, no. Right. Like, actually, it was funny. The stories I had kind of selected to do originally, none of them ended up in today's show. Like, none of them did. So I'm like, oh, content for tomorrow. Like, fuck. Oh man. Like that's gonna, like, that's such a thing. That's such an interesting. I really envy Philip DeFranco because he has a team of people who edit that shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's the hardest part for me. So thoughts on the wildfire climate change denial lately? There's always, people, like, look, there are actual, like, things to look at, like, people who deny. Like, I don't understand how people can sit there and, like, legitimately say that our impact on the planet has no effect, right? Like, there are people out there I've talked to personally that believe, like, we do nothing wrong, like, the earth is fine. And I tell them, like, look, you've got the situation where we are, like, we're growing rapidly. Like, our planet is growing rapidly. We're condensing ourselves into these huge cities with millions upon millions upon millions of people. And, people are, like, growing food massively and rapidly. And it's like, you hear all these studies that come out that are saying by, like, 2070, we're all fucked. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, 2070, I'm going to be fucking 88 years old and shit. So maybe I'll be dead and then I won't be fucked. But my kids, my grandkids, my friends' kids, they're going to be fucked. And I'd like us to think about how to fix the planet. Like, you can't argue that it's getting warmer just because it snows really hardcore one time. You can't argue that. We're seeing an increase in huge storms battling the East Coast, like Hurricane Sandy and shit. Like, we're seeing impacts on the environment. Look at fucking Oklahoma. Right? Oklahoma now gets 1,000 earthquakes a year because of fracking. And I understand that I understand fracking, if it can be done right, but it's like they're getting a lot more damage, and that's man-made damage to that fucking part of the world. There are problems that come from this shit, but people are just like, no, it just never happened. Climate change, but it's cold in the winter. If the global warming was real, then it would be hot in the winter. Yeah, and I lived in California, and in Burbank, it was 95 degrees in December. That's just the weather for that area, but it's like, these things legitimately happen. So it's one of those things. I don't know if I would say that, like, Carlin was right, the earth will be fine, but we're fucked. I mean, clearly we're the ones fucking the environment here. So there's ways I think we can fix it. So any hints for tomorrow's show? Yeah, the Rose Parade being canceled because of what is it? Whatever the fuck it is. Threats made against it. Yeah, a Rose Parade. Right? A Rose Parade. That's, a parade of roses in Portland. It's the Rose City. That's what's being threatened now with violence if Republicans are allowed to walk. So it's like, Jesus fucking Christ. That's just we live in such a weird world, man. Oh yeah, I know, Graydon. I'm going to set up the Patreon stream. I keep forgetting that shit. I mean, you know what? I'm going to go on Patreon right now. Send everyone a message. It's going to be Thursday, and it's going to be awesome. Let me send everyone a message. All right, we're going to new message to. Oh fuck! I want to hold on. Like, I want to. Damn it! Let me send everyone a message. You son of a bitch. All right. View current patrons. Okay. All right. You know, the weird thing about Patreon is like, there's so many people. It's just funny. There are lots of people out there that will like pledge and then like the card gets declined. And then it's like, what do you do with that? I just kind of laugh at that, to be honest with you. All right. Patreon live stream. Hold on. I'm doing it now. You can hear me typing probably. All right, there we go. All right, well, that's fine. That'll work out. We're doing it live. Yeah. So I'm doing a patron live stream, patron only live stream. So that's gonna be this week. It's like, I think like the least, like, I don't know, Patreon is like, it's really awesome, but I literally have like no idea like what to offer people as like a thing. I don't know. That's just me. I don't really have like, maybe I'm just not thinking about hard enough, or I just don't value myself enough in that regard, but I'm not too sure. So I live in the Florida swamps. I don't live in the Florida swamps. So no, I'm an hour outside of Seattle. So yeah, it rains. But it's not as bad as there. Am I on VidMe? Yeah, I've been on VidMe for a while. I just don't post. I need to, but it's like I post so much content that it's like shit. You know, what I might do is I might not post the movie content there, but post the Mundane Matt show there. For right now. Again, it's just like I need a fucking assistant, to be honest. So rough cuts, scripts, notes, and private chat and videos. One-on-one. I could do it. See, the thing is though, Comic Exchange, like the one-on-one stuff feels like that could, like, that's fine, but I feel like that's just such a weird thing, you know, but like, hi, you want to hang out with me for an hour, like $50 or some shit like that. And then people are like, hey, what's going on? Like, you want to chill? It's like, yeah, this is going to get really awkward. You know, I mean, I've had people, like some nice people, but a little eccentric, have wanted to chit chat with me, and I'm usually pretty open. So it's one of those things where I'm still trying to figure it out. Yeah, Kano, go ahead and ask your question. Mundane cat. Yeah, totally. Like this. Do I see the sun? Supposedly next week I'm supposed to see the sun. Well, yeah, but like to charge people, but for people to pay money to pitch ideas or collaborations, it feels like a pay to play scenario. I just can't wrap my head around that one. Right. I just like, pay me money to show up and like tell me an idea so then I can make it and then make more money. It just feels kind of dirty, to be honest with you, but maybe I'm looking at it wrong. Rayleigh Turner says, I'm going to try to do this like Alex Jones. Man, global warming doesn't exist because the government is controlling the weather and they're using Chobani immigrant rapists as the sacrifices. That's a horrible Alex Jones, but you guys get my point. Yeah, what was up with that? Like Alex Jones getting sued in defamation for fucking from Chobani by claiming that like they use migrant rapists. What? I don't even think InfoWars like cares anymore. Like I just don't think they care. Check my DMs. We talking on Twitter? Or are we talking on? Yeah, it's on Twitter. So, oh yeah, I've seen that picture. Of that. That's a good picture. That's a very, very astute thing. What he sent me was a picture of Daddy of Five and Mama Five choking Cody in the vein of The Simpsons, Homer choking Bart, saying it's just a prank, bro. Yeah, I know Alex is going through a lot right now. It's entirely possible that InfoWars might be gone, like, or might be sold. But InfoWars without Alex Jones is not going to be InfoWars. like unless Paul Joseph Watson takes over, which would be very interesting if Paul Joseph Watson takes over. So Alex does think that Michelle Obama is a tranny. I thought that was fucking Joan Rivers who thought that. Okay, Shikibara. Well, if I need anything, I'll let you know, and then I'll be like, send me your address, and I'll Amazon ship you cases of Surge. Paul Joseph Watson, that's fucking great. Do I feel like I have less time to play video games as I get older? Absolutely. That's one of the reasons why I thought about playing video games while doing this kind of live stream, because then I could, in fact, be I could be doing both, be playing a video game as well as entertaining people. It would be awesome if Paul Joseph Watson took over InfoWars. No, it would not. It would not. For one, Paul Joseph Watson is a little bit too intense to run InfoWars the proper way. Alex Jones adds a layer of like tongue-in-cheek mentality to it, but his viewers believe that he's serious. It would be like bringing in Paul Joseph Watson to run it would be like, okay, like let's say, for example, okay, fine. Let's compare it to Scientology. All right. Alex Jones is L. Ron Hubbard, and he brings in David Miscavige, aka Paul Joseph Watson, to run the organization. Now, don't get me wrong. Underneath L. Ron Hubbard, Scientology did some shady fucking shit. But underneath fucking David Miscavige, Scientology has done some really shady shit. But it's gotten far more indoctrinated. So there's that. Let's see here. Kano Doom says, are we as Europeans allowed to talk about American politics? You are absolutely allowed to talk about American politics. I'm just also absolutely allowed to make fun of you for it. Just as you'd be allowed to make fun of me for talking about Brexit or some such shit. These are things I have no control over. And I don't try to get involved in that crap. Like, it did kind of bother me that a number of Brits were trying to heavily talk about the American election. And it's like, yeah, I know what happens in America affects the rest of the world, but, you know, like, why don't you work on your own fucking country? But that's just my own nationalist approach. Rex Wolf, you think France will go far right? I do not believe you are wrong. I do not believe you are wrong. So that's all I'm really going to say about that, because I just, yeah. So, Alex Jones is just crazy or a good con. It's probably a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. You don't get to where he's at without believing a little bit of the shit that you have to say. So, I'm just waiting for everything to go down with Alex Jones. But there was an article on Vice recently about how the right is dominating YouTube, and they're not wrong. It's not so much the right as it is like right-leaning ideals when compared to like the crazy regressive mindset. But there's a lot of conservative voices that have been growing rapidly on YouTube, and they've been building up to that sort of thing. And that might be the paradigm shift, kind of like what followed from Facebook. You know, Facebook was like the young hip kids, and then their parents came in, and then YouTube was maybe kind of the same thing, and then their parents came in, and their parents are finding that kind of content. Like, my uncle fucking loves conspiracy theory videos, man. He fucking loves them and everything else. And we've gotten into some interesting discussions over some of those videos. So it is what it is. People find the content that they like, you know, like I'm currently going through a rebranding process, which is going to impact me for a while, but it's totally cool. At the end of the day, I'm fine with it. People are telling me through online gaming that I can't talk about that at all. I don't know if you're maybe, I don't know. Some people will say that. People say whatever. You don't have to listen to them though. You know, it's kind of like, well, I may say that, you know, I don't think people who are not from here, like, should, you know, like, I just don't care about their opinion on politics, about American politics, because it doesn't impact it. Right. But if I see those people from other countries that are trying to influence American politics, and I was like, stick to your own shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I view it. But then again, it's just my, you know, it's just the way I view it, and they could view it a totally different way, and that's fine. So, but yeah, Boggsy, you're right. The right leaning is very, very kind of broadly defined at this point. It's anything that's not left is considered right. Anything that I don't like is an SJW, according to the right. You know what I mean? Like, so the extremes go both directions. So that's how I look at it. Worst channel on YouTube you should be watching. You are currently on that channel. So you know what? Hold on. Someone here says, Bridge Building Heathen says, I'd love to help stop a war between the far right and the SJWs. You know how you stop that war? I'm not even kidding. If you want to stop that war, Bridge, champion more people to go and speak with the other side, like Lacey Green and Blair White. Champion that shit. Get Riley Dennis on some shit with like a fucking moderate non-SJW. You know what I mean? And like start the discussion small, because you'll find out that most people tend to basically kind of be, like they're pretty chill with one another. They're pretty chill and they have a lot in common. And you just have to find that commonality, and that commonality will allow us as people to come together and then realize that we're maybe not all that different. Like it's just, black or white, you're still pink on the inside. And you know what? Porn proves that time and time again. Like you I'm just saying, it's just, that's how it is. So no, it's not generally pointless, Seraphine. The fact that you say that it's generally pointless proves that you're so fucking cynical and bitter that there's no hope for you. If you have that mindset, then you might as well just go throw yourself off a fucking bridge, because there's no point for the future if you can't find a way to get along. Us versus them mentality does not work. It does not work. And we found ourselves in a situation where that us versus them mentality has somewhat worked, but it does not. The us versus us it's us versus them, us versus us, all kind of mixed into one. But you really should try to focus on how to bridge the gap versus this. Oh, it's not going to work. No, fuck you. Come up with solutions. Don't be a negative Nancy. So, Germany 2.0 maybe. Hey, what's going on, Ramblings? How are you? You subbed to Blair because she's not insane. Yeah, Blair isn't insane. So, Fry Guy Zero, there are communication between people. You just have to, like, it takes a little bit of time to get there in some cases. Like the problem with it is that people are so unwilling to have a conversation with someone that they don't like, mostly because of the fear of the backlash from the audience. And that's a real thing. It's a real thing. Look what happened when Blair White said she was going to have a stream with Lacey Green. You get people like Johnny Fox Rocks that are just like, oh, it's the fucking Blair's is SJW now. And you're like, wait, what? They got people on Lacey's side that are like, what is Lacey doing talking to that degenerate? Like that shitlord. What is she doing talking to them? And you're like, let's fucking have a goddamn conversation. Why don't both of you get your fucking panties out your fucking hole and like calm the fuck down? It's like, let them have a goddamn conversation. And that conversation, right? It was boring as fuck, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It was still a significant, profound thing that it happened. It just happened to be boring as fuck. And Lacey really clicking that goddamn pen. Really clicking that goddamn pen. But you know what though? Lacey Green wouldn't have a conversation with people she wouldn't have had a conversation with 2 years ago. It goes to show you precisely that mentalities can change. And the older you get, I'd like to think that the older you get, the more you're able to see that. Jack says, super chat at 420. Can't we all just get a bong? Damn straight, Jack. Damn straight. I think we'd be able to solve a lot of world issues if people just got fucking high together, right? Not drunk, because people can be mean drunks, but who do you know who's like a mean stoned person? Like, oh, I'm gonna just fucking smoke this bong and then try to put my head through that window. So, Nazi Germany 2.0. I don't think so, Rex. I don't think that's gonna happen. Nazi Germany 2.0 won't. I mean, like, it won't happen now. Angela Merkel is gonna, I think, make sure that. But if the next president or chancellor, that comes in, if they're far right wing, like if Marine Le Pen wins, and then I would say that the next person in Germany is probably going to be far right wing, it's going to be interesting. That's all I'm going to say about that. So I'm trying not to get into it. So we have a lot of those smoke a bong rung through a window. I don't know. People I know who fucking get high don't do anything really stupid. They just kind of sit there. You know, they just smoke a lot of indica and they're like, I'm good. People who fucking drink, oh, they cause lots of shit. Porn can help us get along. That's right, Mr. Shadow. Everyone likes to fuck. Everyone likes to fuck, man. You know, you could again, wars have been stopped over fucking. I can't tell you which wars, but I bet you one of them at least has. So casting pearls before swine. Jesus Christ. You know what? You're so fucking cynical, man. You know, seriously, you're fucking cynical. Like, you don't even have a fucking solution. It's just fucking stick to your side, Seraphine. Just stick to your fucking side. Right? And then just watch as the world goes to shit for more partisan politics and people not getting along. Like, you are literally part of the problem at this point. That's how I view you. So why don't you fuck off? Just fuck off, because you clearly have nothing of value to say. So wars have also been started over fucking. That's right, Nate Civil, they have. Double anal will always bring two girls together. Yeah. DVDA. So it's not a wholly ignorant view, Seraphine. What you're saying is ignorant. You're not even willing to address the other side or look at their point of view or understand it at all. You have literally drawn a line in the sand and said, I am not crossing that line, sir. So you are part of the fucking problem. You sure as fucking part of the goddamn solution. So you can call it a wholly ignorant review, but look in the fucking mirror. All right. Like, you don't want to provide and be involved in any kind of conversation. You just want to sit back and cast your fucking stones. Well, why don't you go in your fucking glass house first? That's what you got to do. The whole world would be better if we could all just Netflix and chill. So if we could all go Netflix and chill, here's a question. What would you guys Netflix and chill to? That's a question. So Lexi Bell. Yeah, I would Netflix and chill with Lexi. Is it like what? Lexi flicks and chill. Good day, Jackson. So no, I'm not advocating to censor anyone, Karen. I'm actually pretty much open for all discussion. I don't think people should be fired over tweets or comments online. I don't think anyone should be censored for any reason. I don't think you should be fired for shit that you say off company time. I don't think you should be I don't think that shit should fucking track you down and crap. Unless you're calling for violence, calling for anything like that, then I think you should be able to espouse whatever opinion you want to espouse. You know, either speech is free or it's not. Again, it's that's what it is. And you have to protect it or watch it die. So, oh, I see what you're talking about. Okay, Karen, I see what you're talking about. Netflix and Jarbio Centipede. Yeah, that'd be fun. Would a death penalty return in Europe countries? I am pretty sure that if it goes the hardlined way, then it's gonna be like that. You know, there's gonna be like, there's gonna there's a lot that might happen over there. Is speech expensive? It can be. No, I'm not arriving to the right side. I'm a very moderate person. So that's the whole thing. What do I think of Better Call Saul? I've only seen the first couple episodes, but I really liked it. I know they're in season 3 now. I need to watch it. I started watching Powerless the other day. Got like 4 episodes in, and I really dug it. But then I guess like NBC is getting ready to cancel it, which makes sense. I like the show, but you can see why they're going to cancel it. I just wish a DC comic, like a DC comedy, that's not super funny, but I just happen to kind of like it. Is it's not the most well thought out show, but it's all right. There's a lot of good shows out there and a lot of crap shows out there too. Hush. I don't think I've seen Hush. What movie is that? Let's see. No, I haven't seen it. I have not seen it at all, but it's a Blumhouse film. Oh wow, got a good score on Rotten Tomatoes. That's interesting. So, okay, something worth checking out, I guess. So, so Shiki Parr Life After the Move is interesting because I hate moving. You know, it's like getting settled part. So it's like I want to get back to work. I want to get back to making videos. But then it's also like I don't want to unpack because everything's in boxes. I'm like, well, it's already in boxes. I can just like unpack the essentials. But the question is like, I'm going to be here for a while, so why don't I just unpack everything? And it's just that it's that back and forth and shit. So do I watch Game of Thrones? Yes, I do. Jeebus, I love that show. And all right, see you later, Tracy. Have yourself a good one. So yes, Kano Doom, I know there's something you want to talk to me about through Discord. I will talk with you on Discord later. Do I believe in life after love? Sure. That's a good song though. That's a good song. I like that song quite a bit. I've never seen Plan 9 or I've never seen Plan 10 from Outer Space. Who's my king queen for Game of Thrones? I think it's going to be Daenerys or Jon. I have a feeling Daenerys. No, well, I had thought that Daenerys and Jon were gonna like, we're gonna like hook up or something like that. Because I kind of feel like that, like they're gonna hook up. But then they're not. I mean, unless they don't mind like that kind of like the thing. I don't want to spoil it if no one has seen it. So, hey, what's going on? Inu girl Yasha, how are you? I have a feeling there's gonna be. I think it's gonna be Daenerys. So, Riley asks, "What is so mundane about me?" I don't know. Lots of stuff, probably a fair amount. So no, Carlos, that's not correct. That's not correct. They're not siblings. Cousins, if anything, but not siblings. Thoughts on Game of Thrones? It's an awesome show. I don't like the Eric Andre show. I don't think the dude is very funny. I just don't think he's very funny. I know he's dating Rosario Dawson, which is good on him, but I don't think he's very funny. So there's a yeah, Rex. I'm not going to join the BDSM community, so that's not going to happen. Nathan says, "What are my thoughts on House of Cards?" I haven't seen the last couple seasons. I've seen the first 2, so I hear it gets pretty crazy as it goes on. So I need to check that out. Who's my favorite? He will not divide us character. That would be Brittany Venti when she went to the New York protest with the sign that said "He will nut in us," and then screeched "Re." Was amazing. Jerry plays MC, says, "Are you mundane? I'm new." Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm mundane. So I need to catch up on House of Cards. I also need to catch up on Orange is the New Black because I haven't seen past the first season. Wait, Littlefinger has a jetpack? What are you talking about? Why would I make a PSA BDSM video? That makes like no sense. Okay, Kano. I will. Yes, you can stop talking about Discord. So it's fine. BDSM is kind of intriguing. I'm more interested like in the mentality of it, like what goes into it. That's one thing I'm curious about. So, what's my opinion on Bearing and his Mrs. Sugar Tits? I like both Bearing and Sugar Tits. So, hey, what's going on, Cinder? Do I see similarities between what's happening in Europe and the backdrop of V for Vendetta? If I've seen it, oh yeah, dude. Of course, I saw V for Vendetta. I saw that shit. I actually got an anonymous mask from Comic-Con in 2005, and I lost it, not knowing what it was. So I had one of the masks that that was pretty cool. The anonymous mask, the Guy Fawkes masks. What am I saying? I know what it is. I don't see that happening, and I don't see that happening in Europe. I see, I see Europe hopefully getting its shit together, but not enough to where they're going to have a turn against the government like that. Thoughts on Riverdale? I have not seen Riverdale. So, no, Littlefinger, like, I don't know. It's a TV show, man. Movie logic. You can't really get too upset about that. Yeah, you could probably do that might be something ramblings. He says here, I feel like I could do a YouTube series on movies I haven't seen. It'd be it'd be an interesting series. So today on movies I haven't seen, Godfather trilogy. Yeah, I know, right? Like, what the fuck? And then that's it. Like, he just, like, how would you do a series about that? I just don't get that. Any advice for surviving uni and not getting kicked out for not talking shit or not taking shit from SJWs I run into? The key is just avoid them. Remember, though, you have to make eye contact or you might be perceived as racist. So that's something to consider. I'm a Mossad intelligence agent. You caught me, Green Ghost. You caught me. I work for Mossad. Do I listen to Richard's podcast? I've heard Rich and Red podcast. It's pretty good. A little bit too long in my opinion, but just because I think anything over like an hour in those cases are probably a little bit too long. Like, as much as I like Drunken Peasants, a 3-hour show is just a bit too long. So that's just it. Just like, I would say 2 hours you're looking pretty good. But 3 hours is like, and that's just me, my personal take on it. So, who is Miss Grundy and why is she a sexy ass teacher? That is something I don't get. Comic Exchange. Yeah. The word racist has lost all power and meaning. Absolutely. You did a 4-hour show today, Tony. Good for you, man. Good for you. If YouTube loses all trust and respect to all users, what will happen to it? Well, the thing is, it's not like there's a billion people. So if they excommunicate one community, it's not going to kill them. Like, that's the whole point. It's just not going to kill them. But eventually the community is going to it's going to even itself out. They just got to figure it out. Opinions on the skeptic community in general. I got no issue with the skeptic community. My question is, though, is how many of them nowadays are skeptics? Right? I don't think a lot of them are. I think a lot of them are, they just say that they're skeptics, but they don't really, like, I see a lot of listen and believe and not questioning. So it is what it is. All right, JH Music, have yourself a good night, man. They wanted to be PG rated, but at the same time, it's also like they know they're never going to be able to get away from people swearing and stuff. So, the thing is, Jay Willie series, it is a community, though. It is, like, what else would you call it? A group, a faction? It just sounds like, oh, the skeptic faction. Like, people say community as just it's they want to think that they're kind of all in it together, but they're not. It's competing. Everyone's competing for eyeballs and time, right? They are. Everyone is. Like, right now, you guys are in this live stream. And so you're in this live stream, but like, there are other people out there that are hosting live streams right now. And those people hosting live streams right now are also competing for time. So everyone's competing, right? Like, I started this live stream and, like, Wizard of Cause and Bearing were on somebody else's live stream. Okay. So it's like competition of time. So again, it's kind of like it's community and name only sort of thing. And I don't know why, Wizard, you want to be a mod so bad. Like, what do I think of Paul Joseph Watson? Well, conservatism is the new punk rock, so he can put that right up his ass and fucking smoke it. I don't know. I don't know. People like PewDiePie and Philip DeFranco, I think they're going to be fine. They can diversify. People like us. They're gonna have a little bit of problem with that. So, all right, later on, Jerry, please have yourself a good one. You're managing a vault. Good. You're multitasking like a boss. Jesus Christ. No, I like you, Nick, but I also like watching you grovel, wanting that wrench. You want to be a mod on my channel for some reason. Do I still think that YouTube is my primary job? Yeah, it is my primary job until I find something else. So there's that. What about Sargon? Will be fine. Sargon's videos get enough views, he'll be fine. I will fully admit, like, I'm jealous of the fact he gets so many views, but nah, he puts out good content. Okay, Nick. I'm glad you admit you want to boot everyone from the chat. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Hey, Sarah Lynn, thank you very much for coming in. I'm glad it's your first time here, and thank you for watching the content. Really appreciate it. So, someone said about VidMe. VidMe has the opportunity to step up, but they have got to like very much get their shit in order and like make it enticing. You know what I mean? And they're not there yet, but I probably should use them more frequently in order to build up content over there. So there's definitely at. What do I think of Kazakhstan? I don't know much about it. Wait, how? I don't know about Bill Nye being affected by that one janitor. So, do you want me to do Nick? Do you want to come in and tell me about that story so that I'm at least aware? The lack of glasses is what brings people over to Sargon. There we go. That's that. You nailed it right there. Not the British voice. Nah. The lack of glasses. That's how you do it. Well, I'm not going to give you a fucking wrench. You could come in and fucking chat, but I'm not going to give you a fucking wrench. So, mahahaha. Oh, Jesus Christ. Ice cream. What happened to Bill Nye here? Jesus. What happened to Bill Nye? Ice cream sexuality. I was just sent that. That's fucking funny. I'm not going to give you a fucking wrench, but I'll DM you a link. I will. All right. All right, let's get in. Wizard of Kaz here. I could fucking type properly in my thing. All right. Okay, so send him a link. He can fill me on this shit. Wait, hold on. Comic Exchange, what are you saying? News networks, Monday Matt News networks, it's infuriatingly confusing. I don't know what you mean by that. All right, good night, Shikibar. Thanks for coming in. Enjoy the episode. It's good. It's good stuff, man. I like to think it's good stuff, but I could be wrong. I mean, I just made it, but then again, I'm biased. So call in the next 5 minutes. We'll throw in 10 more genders, absolutely free. Now you sound like Facebook. I'm going to say probably metric Cinder. What do I think about Thrawn being in season 3 of Rebels? I think that Disney really wants to make up for killing the EU. Oh, thank you very much, Tony. Yes, the power of the wrench. And so yes, lots of power there. Sarah Lean says, do you ever do voice chats? Literally just found had a voice chat with another group in Twitch about disability and SSI. Sometimes I do some stuff. Hey, what's going on, Silver Shinobi? Thanks very much for coming in. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate that. Mr. Shadow asks if Facebook is dying. Facebook is not dying, but it is going through a paradigm shift. So there's definitely that. So that's going to be something they're working on right now. Bill and I got raped, probably. Hey, what's up, dude? How are you, man?
Jesus fucking Christ, the volume's too high.
That's because I'm God.
I'm gonna let you know, man. Like you denying me a wrench, that strikes so fucking deep that I'm really tempted to give the link to Liz.
You're gonna that's a threat. That's a low blow threat, motherfucker.
Oh no, it wasn't a threat. I was
not a threat. Okay.
No, it would have been hilarious. Give me a fucking wrench.
Why? Okay, why is it you want a wrench so goddamn
I collect it's like I said, I collect power like you collect Pokemon, right?
I don't collect Pokemon though. What are you talking about?
Well, okay, you can keep up the lie as long as you like, but the point is
Pokemon Go in almost a year, man. Shit, you get look here's the thing.
Almost a year. Like, have you ever sucked a dick for a goddamn Pikachu? What?
I'm gonna say I haven't played it.
I was rimming strangers for a goddamn Squirtle.
Listen, you got to do what you got to do when it comes to Pokemon Go. I gave that shit up, man. Like cigarettes and crack cocaine.
I don't know enough fucking sexual tricks to get a Zubat. But my point is though, is that yeah, I collect power, you know, and like little wrenches in people's chats. Half the time I don't know where they came from. I show up, I'm like, oh, a live stream going on. Let's see if they're talking about anything interesting. Probably not. But I have a wrench for some reason, and I'm gonna put people in timeout randomly. I don't even know. Like, hey, you know what? That was an old meme, bro. There we go. And yeah.
So what you're saying is you got to stick to the format. Is what you're saying?
That's part of the format.
Okay, it's part of the format. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't given out wrenches on the Saints quite yet. We'll need a more active chat.
Well, I watch your guys' show. I missed last week's, but I usually watch when it's on.
That was a good time. Yeah, no, we had a good time with that one. Hateful, no, not Hateful Bastards. Sorry, Failure Accomplished.
Failure Accomplished was on. Yeah, and then you guys had Razor Fist on before that.
Oh, that was fun. Yeah, I mean, the moment he agreed to be on, I remembered. I'm like, Jeff, get your leather jacket. It's the same one I have, and both of them they're same as Razor Fists. So yeah.
So you guys are like the three amigos.
Yeah, exactly. And he had no idea why it was happening that way.
I did see the Rucko one was funny to me because I felt like Rucko didn't really know what to say.
No, you know what it was is that like, so we're just having like a fun sort of, you know, talk show, basically shitposty kind of talk show. Rucka, unless he's like expected to be in character and expected to be funny and all that shit, is just a really fucking grounded, really rational, intelligent guy. Yeah. And if he's like, oh, all right, I'm coming into a live stream with Jeff and Wizard, and I know like he knows Jeff's content and he knows my content, and most of it's all serious. And so he comes in and he's just this like really base dude.
Yeah, no, I heard it was because I wasn't sure what to expect from him. I was thinking to myself like, oh, it's going to be Rucka, so it's going to be Rucka, you know. Then he's all like sitting there like, yeah, you know, like trying to be insightful. I'm like, wow, that was interesting. It wasn't what I was expecting.
No, he was like genuinely insightful and really fucking even-handed with this shit. Also because to him, like the whole culture war thing, it doesn't really filter in quite as much.
Yeah,
and it's just stupid shit on the internet, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, all right, Jeff showed me this channel like a month ago, and I've been enjoying these very fucking highly offensive videos. And
I remember listening to Rucka like on Pandora when I was at my old job. Like, yeah, his songs would end up on Pandora, and I used to listen to Pandora while I was doing my nightly paperwork. And so, like, occasionally, like, it would pop, like, a Rucka up.
Oh, AJ, well, AJ's saying she's seen him on Spotify. By the way, happy birthday, AJ.
Yes, AJ, happy birthday. I don't know who you are, but happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, but yeah, well, I mean, she was just saying, yeah, she's seen him on Spotify. So yeah, it is like, you know, his business is music. It's not YouTube.
Yeah, and the thing is that it's cool that like those two worlds can overlap. in the way that they have. That's one of the things I like. I as much as this platform is in the shit right now, like I still love this platform dearly.
Well, it's the funny thing. I had meant to do a video on it, but I've set it on streams enough to the point where I just don't see the point. But when it comes to YouTube, like I'm biased because like last month or the month before was the first month I actually pulled ad revenue in, and it was just before the ad apocalypse shit. And it was really nice getting, an extra like almost $300 that week or that month. But my experience with it has been mainly through Patreon. Like my patrons are insanely generous and very dedicated to like supporting what I do. And to me, it was like, oh shit, no, that really does suck if you built your life up, your income around your ad revenue from YouTube, and now it's all of a sudden gone. I understand that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I saw these opportunities for people though. For one thing, like if you can afford to actually like readjust your monetization, so you go to like Patreon and PayPal, sell merch, all that other shit. And then at the same time, if you're no longer beholden to advertisers, because the advertiser friendly thing was, the meme for a bit, because that was an issue before. And so people are like, I'm trying to be more ad friendly, whatever. If all of that's gone and all of your reasons to scrub your fucking content are all of a sudden gone, then aren't you back to square one? And isn't it really kind of time to remember why you started making videos?
Well, see, that argument, and I get what you're saying, but I also kind of disagree with it, because why can't one be the other, right? Like, why is it that once you start making money, you automatically stop doing it because you like it? Like that's
no. And that's the thing. I'm not painting them as mutually exclusive. I'm not saying that, because this has happened, this is automatically the thing. What I'm saying is though, is that like almost if you have to look for a bright side, look to that and realize, well, I'm no longer beholden to try and make advertiser friendly content. That's over with. And now I'm just actually going to do what it is the fuck I want to do right now, while I figure out how I'm going to make things work on the outside.
Well, and that's precisely what I did. I was planning an exit from this channel anyway. Not like entirely. I was going to still do streams and some videos, but I wanted to focus on movie content, and that's why I created 3 Buck Theater. And that was actually doing really well in March, right? Like I was surprised at how well it did in the first month. Like, way better than this channel made its first month, and then all of a sudden the adpocalypse happens and it all goes to shit. I'm like, okay, well, what am I going to do? I just moved into a new house. I need to, my monthly bills have now gone up, which was completely, taken care of under what it was a month ago. And so it's like, now it comes time to change it up a little bit, but it's good because it allows me to focus on more of what I want to talk about. And then if it requires me to rebuild and rebrand from there, at least I'm not hurting when it comes to money. The money's not coming in anyway. So it allows me to be more creative and be more passionate about it. And I think that's what you're trying to say anyway, right?
Yeah, in a way. And also it was interesting because like the last live stream I was doing with the white YouTuber, Naked Ape showed up and he started talking about how he will hold off from talking about certain things because it wouldn't play well with his audience, right?
Oh yeah, well,
well, no, but with that, I mean, well, no, it's a funny thing because like my experience, and I have a much smaller channel than he does, but I've found like my own subscriber base and my patrons, they're really into me just expressing my thoughts, even when they disagree with me. I have a patron who the only person they give money to other than myself is Millennial Woes. And I've routinely called him out as being a fucking, pretty kind of two-faced, disingenuous person and someone with terrible fucking ideas. But it's the whole notion of like, this is a channel I like rather than this is something that I, affirms my virtues and values and all that shit. If you take that away and you take the advertiser content, it's kind of the same thing. You can kind of say, okay, if this thing survives and actually works, then it's because those who are supporting what I do really, really believe in what I do.
Yeah.
Not just, they like that I affirm shit and I support their side in the culture war, whatever it might be.
Well, I think we've gotten to a point. Well, real quick, there was a super chat while we were talking from Sarah Fine 666. Thank you very much for that, Sarah Fine. I really appreciate it. But the quote that they posted is, "To go against conscience is neither right nor safe. Here I stand. I can do no other." Which is a very good quote, very astute quote. But
one of the best super chats I've seen in weeks.
Yeah, no, that's a very thoughtful comment. Thank you very much. Yeah, I look at the way things are. Like when I started this out like 5 years ago, I never anticipated things to kind of get to where they got, I guess, as fast as they got. And then Gamergate happened and I got like really, really lucky. But Gamergate happened for me at a time when I needed something like that to happen, because I was in the process of saving money to move from San Diego to Portland, and I needed to come up with a couple $1,000s to do that. And then Gamergate happened, and all of a sudden all of this like extra revenue came in, and then I was able to build and build and build and build to the point of where that became my full-time job. So like, because of Gamergate, I was allowed to kind of go down this path in a way that was profitable. And then I
understand that. I mean, my my beer column,
yeah,
that was thanks to Gamergate. That was thanks to Bob Chipman, actually.
Really?
Oh yeah, no, when he he became the insufferable cunt that he became, right? Or exposed himself as the insufferable cunt that he is. And I noticed that I was followed by Alex Macris, and I was following him as well. I didn't really know who he was, and then I put two and two together because I kind of pushed Lizzie Finnegan to start writing professionally.
Oh, good. Well, you did. Yeah, no, she was thing there.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the beginning of Gamergate and all that, like I got to be like pretty good friends with her, and she's fucking wonderful person.
Yeah,
and she was blogging privately, and then she was doing these other jobs on the side. That was like her occupation. And I read a couple of her blogs, and I was already a published writer myself. I'm like, Lizzie, you should really try and write about games. And so she gave it a shot, and then now she's senior editor of The Escapist. But after that happened, and then I got to be kind of friends with Brandon Morse, who was writing for Every Joe at the time. I saw Chipman's implosion, and I wrote to Alex saying, I'm an actor, a cinephile, and a writer. Would you mind if I took a shot at being a film critic? And he came back saying, well, I've got a whole bunch of film critics right now, but I noticed you are getting really into beer. Would you like to be a beer critic? And at that point, it's like, gee, yeah, I guess I can drink beer for a living. Yeah.
Yeah,
I suppose. And then they asked me what I rate too, and I have a rate for like the other shit that I write. And this time I came around and I'm like, what can I really justify? They want 500 words, and it's just writing about really good shit that I'm drinking. And I gave them my rate, and it was a fucking low ball figure. And they're like, oh yeah, sure, all right, by the way. And then like 3 months later, like, oh, by the way, you want to go on this trip? This PR agency is sending influencers on a trip, and every time I go out, I just write about like these people think I'm an influencer. I've infiltrated their ranks. Never has such a low creature as a writer actually sullied these hotel sheets, but I mustn't let on now.
Isn't that so weird though that they start calling you influencers? Like I get emails over for sponsorship shit. Like I've been getting them like almost every day, it feels like.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're an influencer. And I'm like, am I really? I don't know about that. Like,
no, it's a made up title that PR agencies give to media personalities, writers and such. I mean, I remember when I got brought down to Orlando, and this was November of 2015, I think. Captain Morgan's found my beer column and asked if they could send me to Orlando for this big event where they were releasing the Cannon Blast. And it's basically like Fireball, except rum.
Okay.
Like if you like Fireball, you probably like it. I don't really care for the drink. There's things it works in. But it's funny because they're launching this, and their big launch was like this part of downtown Miami. They closed off and they shot a dude out of a cannon twice, right? And but when they show up, like they bring us down there, they put us up in this fucking swank hotel. Bar tab is open. They bring us out for like a fucking 5-star dinner. I had what's that fucking it's like a steak inside of this like bread shell thing. Gordon Ramsay, it's his thing. Anyway, like I had some of that. And then they
Sounds fucking
bring
weird.
yeah, well no, and then they fucking once this big dinner, this fucking like 5-star dinner is done, they get us outside at like 10:30 at night, pile us into a bus, and then bring us to Universal Studios because their Halloween thing. Yeah, so it was like October. It was like their Halloween haunted thing was going on, and we got express passes, and we could just cut all the lines and just jump on all the rides. And we were there till like 2:30 in the morning, just going on rides and like drinking and all that fun shit. And then the next day, like they bring us to lunch, get us trashed, and then bring us to this event later in the afternoon where they shoot a dude out of a cannon. We're all taking pictures on GoPros that they gave us. Like, whoa, it's fucking cool. They're like $10,000 to the best influencer who produces content. My entire article was really just Hunter Thompson style. I have no business being here. I'm just going to get drunk on their dime and write about my experience. And the winner was some Thrillist knockoff. It's like, it's the dopest new shot, bro. You want to check this dope new shot out, bro? And I'm reading this thing. I'm like, this is like a fucking Rick and Morty parody.
Yeah.
Right here.
I one time, this is back in 2007. I was just got done with film school, and Xbox was running a competition for the Xbox Live Originals. Right, they wanted to branch out into original creative content. Right, and they put out this $100,000 competition, kind of through the New York TV and Film Academy, or Film and TV Academy, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
and they were looking for short 5 to 15 minute comedy series that they wanted you to shoot the pilot, and if you won, they would give you $100,000 to produce I think like 5 episodes or something, and then after that, like they would maybe pick it up for production. And I had this idea at the time because I had I was just getting into like trying to make machinima, and it was really I've always been really horrible at it, but I was still trying to do it. And the Halo 3 beta was going on. And then, I don't know if you ever played Halo 3, but you could like record your matches afterward, right? You could play back your matches and see, how you did and get the kills, the videos of the kills you want and shit. Well, I had the idea of, did you ever see Most Extreme Elimination Challenge? Nick, have you ever seen that one?
no, sorry.
Oh, it was on Spike TV back in the day. It's a dub of Takeshi's Castle or whatever, from Japan, and it was like this really like extreme sports show, really dumb, total Japanese game show and everything. And on Spike, they dubbed it with really like comical commentary. And I thought, what if I took that commentary and I put it to gameplay footage from like a death match, right, from Halo. And because Halo hadn't come out yet, we were still in the beta. I could just use footage from the beta and like make it look like it's something new. So my friend and I sat down.
Matt?
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely keep going after this, but I'm actually just going to be gone for a couple minutes. There is an odd piece of technology in the parking lot next door. Bright blue LED. Looked at it through binos, can't tell what it is, but there's no cars around. I need to go and look. So,
yeah, go explore, come back, report.
I'll be back.
Okay, I'll be here. Okay, real quick. Nate Civil did say in Super Chat, why am I not surprised that Wizard became a beer critic when we just found out he sucked dick for a Pikachu? It's a fair thing. I don't know. People will do anything for a nut, right? But anyway, so back to this story that you guys will hear. So yeah, I came up with this idea called Deathmatch 360, and I might have linked it on Twitter before. It's out there. The pilot episode exists, and it's my friend and I doing this MXC style commentary to a Halo 3 deathmatch, and the goal was to send it off. And and hopefully win. But the problem with it is the day before it was due, I fucked up and I fucked up the edit, and I couldn't finish it in time to send it off. And so I just never did. And the show that won was this horrible, horrible, horrible crap ass show that was given the money to produce the episodes. And it's one of those things where it's like Microsoft passed on it, and I think ultimately killed that program because this wasn't like inventive comedy. This was dumb, like lower than like entry level course comedy type shit. And that's one of my biggest regrets. But I did finish it eventually, and I sent it off to people at Bungie, and they've seen it and they found it to be enjoyable. At least that's what they told me. I'm pretty sure they were like, "Ooh, this is the cringiest shit ever." So yeah, that was my thing. That was my story of trying to win a competition. So so there's that. But Fry Guy Zero, it's called Deathmatch 360. I don't think you're going to be. I think you could like Google Deathmatch 360 one word pilot, and then you might be able to find it. Let's see if I can Google it. It's on. Yeah, if you Google Deathmatch 360 pilot, you can find a link to my Facebook page where I've got the video. It is bad. It is horrifically bad. It's 9 years old. Holy crap. No, this thing's almost 10 years old. That's how bad it is. Let's see. It's in the let's see. All right. I'm posting it in the chat right now. If you guys want to check that one out. So to people wanting to come in the stream, probably not tonight. I'm just gonna keep it kind of chill. I do need to do an open stream, but I need to get like a moderator for that and everything. So that will be something that we'll figure out pretty soon. So, but if you do, I'm just gonna be chilling. But if you want to get more of a private thing, Patreon will have a live stream, patron only stream Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So Matt is the type of guy to do a 360 no scope and hit himself. Probably. So there's that. But yeah, if you guys check out the Deathmatch 360, as horrible as it is, it's something that I really, really, really love. Simply because like I put a lot of work into that, like a lot of work into that. The sock puppets, especially. I even found Saki Joe just the other day. It was at the bottom of a box when I moved. I found it at the bottom of a box. Big T Nixon is gone. That sock is gone. But Saki Joe I found, and I think I didn't realize what he was at the time, and I think I threw him out. But I'm a little sad about that. But 10 years ago, I was really trying to be a machinima filmmaker. I was hoping that I could do it well. So yeah, you guys can check that out and everything. So yeah, so the Patreon only stream on Thursday will be an open stream to patrons. So that's going to be that will happen. We'll do that for like an hour and a half or something like that. So I figure that's something we could do. We'll do that one open, maybe through like Skype or something, if it's a little easier than people with whatever. But yeah, I think that's going pretty well. So apparently, I'm gonna try to look through here. People sending me tweets. All right, I've been pissing off some Steven Crowder fans tonight. I give you hope, so you keep drawing butts, huh? All right, that's good, man. That's good. Wait, your mom just found out what memes are, so when she asked me to get a shell, use a meme, but not a fresh ones like 2009 meme front ones. I don't quite understand that one, Miley, but okay. It was funny was I actually explained the Hitler did nothing wrong meme to my mom the other day, and she cracked up laughing at it because she's not too familiar with memes. and everything. She's seen him on the Facebooks, but she's not too familiar with a lot of them. So I explained to her that one, and she thought it was pretty funny. Yeah, I probably will do Discord. It doesn't really matter necessarily how I get people in there, but then again, I don't know if the people who are going to be on there will have Discord. I should probably send them a message and say first. So, but a lot of people have Skype, and Skype is more of a stable platform, I think, than Discord. Even if I like Discord, it's you know, it is what it is. So if you guys got any questions, go ahead and toss them in the chat. Oh, I didn't get a chance to watch.
Come back, just as you're fucking floundering. Huh?
Wait, what's up?
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing. What's the movie that's not Cloverfield about the guys who find that weird alien thing or whatever it is that gives them superpowers?
They're Power Rangers?
No, it was kind of like
Chronicle.
Yeah, you know, I was gonna go with Chronicle, but in this case, it's kind of like Power Rangers. Honestly, the shit I found in that driveway.
Did you find the Tesseract?
No, it was more powerful than that. It was a blue cigarette. It was on the fritz.
Oh, okay. And you could see it from across the way. You had to pull out the binoculars.
I thought I might be able to stretch that story out a bit more, but I guess not.
Yeah, that's something you're gonna have to work on that one. You're a writer. I'm sure you could figure it out. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I only had like the 30 seconds it took me to get up the stairs to really think about it. So.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Given how little time I had, I think I did okay. That's all right.
All right. So, what was that? Have you?
The topic we were talking about? Yeah. The fact that you moved out of California because you gave up on your dreams of making movies. That one?
I didn't give up on my dreams of making movies, but you can make movies anywhere.
No, you can't. I live in New England. We're proof of
yes, you totally fucking can. The power of the goddamn internet. You totally fucking can.
Dude, you trying to make, there's so much forest there. You could just make, this really original thing. It'd be like a serial killer. Where he like chases people through the woods, and then you film a couple weird shit scenes in your friend's basement. Yeah.
Are you talking about the movie I made? Because it's kind of like that.
I'm talking about like the last 2 films I was in. That's why I like gave up acting here in New England. Nope. Like, oh, I got this indie film. It's local, so you get like real footage. Oh, that's cool. What's it about? Oh, it's about this killer who's killing people. Oh, that thing again. I think I just did that.
I encountered a lot of that in LA. I encountered quite a bit of that when I was surfing Craigslist for like writing jobs. And people are like, all right, like I want to write this movie about like I literally got brought in. I'm not kidding you. I got brought in by the brother of so you heard Erin Moran died, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so her brother, I'm friends with. He was actually in a short film I wrote back in San Diego. He brought me and a couple other people together for a writer's room because he grew up walking around the set of Happy Days, and he loves writer's room. He's like, I have this idea. It's going to be a great, brilliant idea. We can all make lots of money writing it. We're going to do a movie about an air guitar competition. I'm not even kidding you. Like, he had this idea, brought like 5 of us together.
Here's the thing: if you get Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly in on it, you've got a hit, no matter how bad the movie is.
Oh, exactly. We sat down, we watched a whole bunch of like YouTube videos about air guitar competitions, and then there was actually like a feature-length documentary about it, and we were like studying it, like taking notes, and then the whole thing fell apart. I think because like he didn't like properly express how he wanted us to do it, and it just kind of went to shit. But like, I've been in those kind of like writer situations where it's like you go in there and you're like, okay, what's your idea? And they're like, I have no fucking idea. Just write me something good.
Oh, dude, no, it's the funny thing because like I don't go to writers' rooms or anything like that. And it's one of these things I've been I only started getting invited to them once I had published and such, and like my shit was, it's like, oh, he's a writer, it was like, oh, he should come to a room. No, fuck off. Because I have had actually 3 paying jobs now, like pretty well paying, where it starts out with these, people with a story in mind. They got a whole story, and that's supposed to be the hard part. And like, oh, I want to write this story, and you're the best writer I know, this and that. Let's work together on it. I'll get about maybe 12, 13 pages into a thing before I remember that I don't work with people. So it's like, okay, a writing job. No, this is no longer a collaboration. I'm just going to write this thing and you're going to pay me. And at that point, once I take it on, it's funny because you get that initial boost. You're like, I got the project, cool. And you pump out like fucking 10,000 words. Like, cool, yeah, no, I'm capable. I got this. Don't worry, I got this. And then you agree to terms, and then all of a sudden, it's like, if you don't have a deadline, all of a sudden it's like, all right, cool. I'll write more about this when I'm really inspired / need money. Oh shit. Like rent is due. All right, I'm gonna crank out 5,500 words real quick. Boom.
I never got that. There was one situation where this Haitian actor had come to me and was like going to hire me to write a treatment for a movie. And he was going to pay me like 2,000. That was the agreement. It's like, I'll pay you 2,000 for a treatment.
Was it a written direct? Was it like one of these directed by and starring films?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I saw the guy's resume. I saw the guy's, I saw like his website. I saw his IMDb. His social media was always like this dude just doing shit.
Yeah, he's producing.
Like he's acting too. He's acting and like he does stunt work and everything, but he's like also like working on.
Okay, so like he's like legit working and he's got this passion project, right?
Yeah, but then I find out that like he's like, okay, I really want to make this movie. Like I need a cheap script that I can do. I'm like, all right, and he goes, what I'm gonna do though, and he told me this, and I thought like I'm probably gonna get screwed, but I'm still gonna see where this goes. He's like, okay, so I've got a $1 million budget. I'm like, damn, $1 million. He goes, well, not for this movie. Okay, for another movie. I got $1 million budget for another movie. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot that movie for $800,000. And then I'm going to make this other movie for $200,000. And I'm like, this.
Are you sure you weren't just talking to 50 Cent?
It's entirely possible.
And that's pretty much how his film thing works.
Oh yeah, I know. This was pretty bad. Like, but at the time I was desperate. I'm like, all right, well, I need work and I need money.
Oh, yeah. By the way, Matt, do I have wrench powers yet?
No.
No. Carrot.
Carrot has wrench powers. Yeah, Carrot does.
Does Carrot have the power to give me wrench powers?
Carrot does not have the power to give you wrench powers.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you have to fucking deal with that.
All right, let's get back to how you let's get back to the other bad decision you made.
There's lots of bad decisions.
No, I mean about the Haitian filmmaker.
Oh no, I wrote the treatment, and the treatment, he really fucking liked it. And he actually and then as soon as that happened though, like the conversation just broke off, right? Like it just broke off. So I'm wondering if somewhere he's got this treatment and he's like, I'm just gonna fucking make this movie one day, and he won't know because I'll change it around or something. That's kind of what I think is gonna happen. But I never got paid. I never got anything out of it.
See, now it's funny. The director of Amy in a Cage, who, by the way, like that film was the first film ever entirely funded by Bitcoin earnings.
Nice.
Yeah, dude, like he got this, it was like his great aunt or something. I don't know. I'm still friends with him now, but he got this investment trust inheritance thing, and he converted it all to Bitcoin at just the right time. And then he financed the production of a film based on a comic that he wrote, which was Terry Gilliam-esque, to be kind to it. It's a weirdest movie I have ever seen.
That can either be a compliment or an insult, depending on who you're talking to.
It really depends on what you feel about the movie.
All right.
Reviews on the film were just so divided. People thought it was either the weirdest, most brilliant fucking thing they'd ever seen, or they thought it was incomprehensible garbage. Yeah, I mean, Crispin Glover was in it.
Wow.
Yeah. No, Crispin Glover was in it, and there was a number of other people who were name fucking people. But But no, I mean, after that, he wanted to do some weird telling of the legend, not the history, but the legend of Ben Franklin. And so we started out on this arrangement where we were going to co-write this script, right? And I was like, all right, cool. Well, let's just start learning about Franklin too, so I can have some perspective on this. And the more I learned about Ben Franklin, the more I'm like, nothing I could write would be weirder than what actually happened. And so I just started writing the thing, and then he started giving me these ideas and these like notions that were completely off base and didn't make sense. And I'm like, okay, wait a second, that's right. I don't know how to write with other people. And once I started writing the thing, it took me about 2 weeks. I had a 140-page screenplay that was a legend of Ben Franklin, which was, all the timing and everything was correct, and it was kind of his actual backstory, which is fucking bizarre. And Huru straight up bought the script for $500 when I was done with it. He's like, okay, I couldn't write this. I might change it a bit, but can I just buy it from you? I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm fucking broke. Yeah,
I think that's how a lot of the movie business actually works. It's like you go like, all right, I have a little bit of money. You can give me something. I can give you that little bit of money. And then you're well, because there was a time too, if you remember, I don't know, like if you remember the early 90s in Hollywood, like there was so much money. Everyone had so much fucking money.
Yeah, it was being thrown around left and right. I mean, that was what like made Schwarzenegger, all of like Schwarzenegger's annual films. It was just the money was there. Let's do another one.
Well, and now it's definitely changed quite a bit, but I hear these stories occasionally about these bids for like these scripts, and it's like the writers are still making good money if the writers can get the work. Like, did you hear about Netflix and that their movie Bright?
No.
That new Will Smith one. It's a Will Smith movie directed by David Ayer, who did Suicide Squad. It has a $90 million budget, and it's coming to Netflix. Like that's
fucking... I mean, here's the thing. You've seen, I think I've asked you this, but have you seen Side by Side?
I have not.
You know what it is though, right?
I do not.
It's like Keanu Reeves made the like he wrote the script. It was his baby, and it's basically a documentary about the shift from conventional film to digital. And he interviews Scorsese, and I've been drinking, so I can't think of the rest, but he interviews everyone in the film, like all of the big names of old school film and a lot of the new names. And he gets all these conflicting opinions. Like Scorsese, if I remember, his opinion was that the switch to digital is a double-edged sword, because on the one hand, the artist who could never make their masterpiece without studio financing can now do that. But on the other hand, if you want to find that really good piece of art, that really good film, you have to wade through mountains of awful self-indulgent shit. And you know what I'm talking about there. I mean, if you've ever seen a fucking student film fucking festival, god
yes, I have.
God damn. How many fucking films about a struggling artist who's trying to come to grips with their parents' opinion of their life choices? How many fucking times can you make that?
Quite often. Multiple times a year. I think people make those kind of stories because they know they can be made for cheap. Right.
Well, no, they make those stories. I mean, those are like usually student films anyway. Like those are usually just student films. But
I mean, you've seen what students will spend on their fucking student films, though.
Oh, dude, I helped raise $5,000 for a film that I shot one day on, and it was so insanely disorganized. One of the actors had to save the camera from being dropped into a fucking harbor, or a river rather. Like it was insane. And he raised $5,000 for this thing, shot one day of it, never did another thing with it. And it's still on my fucking IMDb as a thing that's in progress. It's fucking it's ridiculous. I mean, like, that's the problem though, is that because you take away the scarcity, because you take away that urgency of get it right as quickly as you can, I think you've sort of taken away the urgency to actually make good films and actually commit to it. If you start shooting on film, like, you have to complete that fucking project. Otherwise, you wasted resources beyond that, which you can even really think of. Now, $200, you can shoot a half an hour film that might even be good. I mean, honestly, like, you know, Mouthy Buddha?
I do not.
Yeah, he's a YouTuber. Guy's clearly a film student, really pretty talented editor. He knows how to color correct and all of that. His videos look really good. If you had a guy like that who was willing to work for free, and you had a script and a cast and you had the equipment, you could shoot a movie no problem. And because of that, though, if like things get fucked up along the way of it, if your production gets halted for this or that reason, if you have to call it quits or just walk away from the project, especially if no one's getting paid, everyone's fine with that. So you end up getting like these funds raised for projects that never get made.
Yeah, there's a lot of money that gets thrown around in that world.
Oh, it's sick too, is when you get into the crowdfunding side of things too. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
the sad thing with Huru, the guy, you know, so we wrote that Ben Franklin thing, and he actually had Jack Nicholson's agent interested, because I wrote the thing as a story being told by old Ben Franklin in a bathtub to a whore while he was smoking opium. And I
Okay.
guess Nicholson's, yeah, well, I guess at the time Nicholson's agent was like interested in entertaining the notion of looking at the script. You know how that is.
Yeah.
To us, as I'm writing the thing, and he's already paid me for it. I'm writing the thing, and I'm like, oh fuck yeah, oh shit, we need that to happen. And then just as we got it finished, and he wanted to start, you know, trying to shop it around, there's some mini series on Franklin came out, and he just gave up. He wrote an entire script himself, some sort of period piece gypsy story. And from what I read of it, I mean, it was convoluted and weird, but it wasn't bad, right? It got shot down because the production team that was saying, if you can get this script done and all of this, they were like, actually, it was like an entertainment lawyer, a talent manager, and then some low-level producer, like associate producer. And they were all hardcore feminists, and they took this gypsy story of his, and they said, okay, cool, well, this seems really cool, but we'd really like it if you could somehow turn it into sort of an X-Men for women thing, like a real girl power. And this was before the Ghostbusters remake came out and flopped. And they cited what they saw as online excitement about that movie. And I'm like, if you could just make this movie more like that. He's like, this is like a period piece about gypsies and magic. I can't make a superhero movie out of it. And I'm like, well, if you did, that would be really good, and we'd love to throw $3 million at that. And he walked away, and he just straight up told them to go fuck themselves. He's been pissing off festival people lately too, so that's kind of his deal. Like, he doesn't really like playing games.
There's so much bullshit surrounding independent Hollywood, and it's one of those things where it's like, the thing I love about digital cinema is that it does open it up for anyone to make a movie, even if it's a shit movie. But they have the opportunity to make it and the opportunity to put it out there and get past the fucking gatekeepers, you know. And that is like one of the biggest problems, because it's like you see this with gaming. Like, look at all the people in gaming, in the games journalism side of things, that are very much the gatekeepers, and they only let in their friends. And it happens in Hollywood as well. I'm sure you know that.
Oh yeah.
So I'm glad that there's a lot of people out there these days that are able to make their own content and then take it to, take it to the masses. And then, very much, it's very much a meritocracy, I think.
Yeah, the thing is too, is like a lot of times, like I found the best way to kind of find the really good independent sort of work is to go, it's kind of like the festival scene used to be.
Yeah.
Except instead of that, I mean, the festivals are still good, but those, I mean, I've been to two, and both of my experiences at film festivals have just been these really cringy experiences where you can tell everyone there is really, really intent on everyone else noticing that they are there. And as a result of such, no one notices anything. everyone kind of stands around and meet and greets without really getting to, know who they're talking to at all. And nobody really seems to go to the showings. Everyone just shows up to like get the free cocktails during cocktail hour, eat the
Well, and I
dinner.
think part of that too is because for one, the networking happens during cocktail hour, and two, people don't want to spend the fucking money for the tickets.
Well, it's the funniest thing. The ITVF, the Independent Television Festival, right? We brought Ascendance, which is one of the short films I was in. I'm working on a project associated with it now, and I mean, the producer who created the storyline, who created who created at least the base of the characters, and shot and self-funded, I think 4 short films now. He's dedicated to this, and he's got a decent story on his hands, and he's got a decent production, and he knows what he's doing. He's got a red epic, for fuck's sake.
Oh, Jesus.
And yeah, no. I mean, like, that's the thing. When I was shot on red epic, like, because I did the second like short film in his anthology that he's done thus far, and we showed all 4 films all at once. The first time we went up to this festival, it was cool, right? So we're just sort of chilling around a campfire, like there's like tents with shows showing and all this shit, and we got blocked terribly. Like, they put our sci-fi drama after a 2-hour block of comedies, so nobody gave a shit and everyone walked out. But the first year I went there, and I was trying to make the impression, right? We were both trying to make the impression. And then we were brought back the next year as like alumni or some shit. And both of us just showed up not giving a fuck. I mean, he was trying to press the flesh, but he was actually just there so he could get stock shots of Vermont in October or some shit. Like, really nice foliage and shots. And yeah, I mean, neither one of us gave a fuck. And it was the funniest thing because everybody else there who went there seemed to really get relaxed by that. They'd be all uptight, and then they just start. I mean, I'd drink with them and just not give a fuck and be the same. It'd be as much of a shit poster as I am in a stream like this.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden get relaxed and it's like, oh shit, oh god, can you believe how fucking you see the award show? Oh my god, and it's like people, black people even saying, can you believe, like, I swear to God, they just gave that award to them because they're black. And they wanted everyone to see them do it. Like, wow.
Well, people tend to lower their guard
for that. Where I'm from,
yeah.
Where I'm from, being the internet, by the way.
No, you'll notice that a lot of people like that tend to lower their guard, in those kind of situations. Like when they think like you're cool, like they're not, like they'll lower those defenses and they'll be a lot more open about shit.
Oh yeah. Well, the producer I was there with too, he fucking cock blocked me 3 times.
That's some stupid shit, man.
Well, no. The first time he did it was by accident. He didn't realize he was doing it, and then I brought it up to him. And then twice after that, he kind of made a point of doing it because he thought it was funny. And I'm like, are you taking out the fact that you're married on me? God damn it.
It sure fucking seems that way.
Yeah, but the second time around too, like once people like stopped giving a shit and really just got like hammered and fucking watched movies with each other. And I mean, it's Vermont too, so everyone's buying weed off the dishwasher at the hotel they're staying at. It was one of those things where like the second time around you kind of suddenly realize like, oh, okay, if you go to these things, no one's actually supposed to fucking care. Like, no one's gonna get a job out of this. Not really. 1 or 2 people might, because they'll walk away with a little award statuette and they'll get promoted on a website, and then they can pitch that to the producer that they want to work with at just the right time, so they see the email and they're like, yeah, fuck it, why not this person? Yeah, that'll do. There you go.
It's all a fucking game. I mean,
you're the top PA on this. We've got $1.5 million budget. You're not union, are you? All right, good. No.
Yeah, that was a big thing. It's all like, oh yeah, because I was living in LA when SAG-AFTRA happened, and so I understand why all the after people were like, oh, I totally want this.
Yeah.
Like all the SAG people were just like, I don't really give a shit about after. Like, I'll do it if I have to. But all the after people were like, oh my God.
You know, the SAG people are like, is anything going to change? And they're like, no. All the after people are like, is anything going to change? Like, everything will change.
For those of you in the chat that don't know, SAG is a Screen Actors Guild. And AFTRA is, I don't know what it's really called.
American Federation of Radio and Television. AFTRA.
Association.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, it's American Federation of Television and Radio Associates or some shit.
American Federation of Television and Radio Artists.
That's
There,
it.
yeah.
Because because here's the thing. Both Bill O'Reilly and Bill Nye are SAG AFTRA members now, and they're both artists apparently.
Well, that's just pretty much how it goes. But the thing is, like, I when that shit went down, like, everyone I knew in LA was losing their shit over it because of how much money it costs to get into SAG. And like, I looked at those prices and I'm like, God damn, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get more work as a result of that.
Oh, dude, when I like I've like kind of largely stepped away from acting, mainly because the industry in New England is absolute shit. And we're talking like $300 workshops about how to be a successful actor, given at like the main casting company in Boston. And the whole workshop is given by a career background, an extra person whose biggest claim to fame was shooting headshots that look like Sears glamour shots.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, and I got invited to audition for Patriots Day, and the initial casting call said, we're calling in people with, you know, military backgrounds or police backgrounds, this and that. I show up, I drive an hour and a half into Boston, I get down there, and I fill out this paperwork. I'm sitting in the hallway, and they tell me, yeah, you're auditioning for old cop. I'm like, old cop? All right, well, I'm like 33, but I live kind of hard, so maybe I'll look a little older than I am. And no, the guy I'm reading, like the other guy for the role that they just randomly gave out, apparently, yeah, he's a fucking like 60-something-year-old ex-cop. And they're like, yeah, no, so your character, I get into the room, and they're like, yeah, your character, you know, he's been on the force, he's close to retirement. And I'm like, I'm thinking, like, I'm 33. I know I can look pretty rugged and old on camera, but you guys just kind of cattle called this one, huh? And that's how it works. That's how everything works. So yeah, I've kind of stepped away from that shit here.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I really, when I moved to Portland, I really wanted to like become like a background extra on Grimm or whatever, but that was just wrapping up, like that was finishing up and everything, and now it's over, and there's not much that goes on in this neck of the woods, so it's
yeah,
that's not gonna be anything.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's funny because like, what was it, 2013? No, it was 2012 actually. When I was down in New Orleans, I remember loads of work down south, right? Loads of it for everyone. But also the other thing I saw on like Actors Access and on IMDb before they fucked their job postings up, like it was there, Canada, and the Northeast. Like when Grimm was going on, there was a fuck ton of productions going on there because they just loved those woods.
Yeah. No, well, because at the time it was Grimm and what's that fucking show? Leverage was shot here or shot there.
Oh yeah.
But see, most everything's in Vancouver nowadays, so it's kind of like I'm not too far away from Vancouver.
Oh yeah, everything's gone up to Canada. I'm not even allowed in that fucking country. So
yeah, how are you banned from Canada?
I wish it was something funny, but in my case, it is just a DUI. But that's the thing. If you get one DUI, it's pretty much a lifetime ban. Like if you get any kind of drug charge, it's a lifetime ban. Like Canada, it's funny. Like are they are more serious about their border controls than even our border nuts would like to be. The fucking Americans, have they done anything? Um, yeah, 15 years ago they got arrested smoking pot. Nope, nope, nope. They're not coming in. No. Okay. I found out like if I wanted to go into Canada, if I want to enter Canada, I apparently have to I have to go through like a program that shows that I have been rehabilitated from whatever it was that caused me to get arrested. And it cost like several $1,000s. And I'm thinking like, how bad do I want to get into Canada? I live in New Hampshire. I'm familiar with the climate at least. And yeah, we've got loads of the French Canadians here too. Fuck those people. No, you know what? I'm cool with just being banned from an entire country. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I don't see. I have family in Canada, and there are some other YouTubers that I've met. I was in Victoria, British Columbia, for like 3 hours last summer when I was on my cruise, because the cruise has to hit one international port in order to allow for all of those things you buy duty free to remain duty free. And so, like, the way Carnival did it is like, oh yeah, we're just gonna pull into Vancouver, British Columbia for like 3.5 hours.
And here we go. In this 3.5 hour time, if you could all just shit yourselves, that would be great. We can keep our record up.
They basically just like that. We got off the boat.
We're gonna go down around the tip of South America, bring you up into Nova Scotia, and we're gonna ground the boat here. So get used to just being on kind of like tilty legs and shitting yourself. Yeah, just shit. Think of it like it's Mumbai and you're native. Yeah, just go for it.
No, they still have toilets in Mumbai. They just don't have things to wipe your ass
No,
with.
I know they have toilets in Mumbai, but they don't have functioning toilets on Carnival cruise lines when things go haywire.
That's true, but thankfully nothing went haywire, so I'm good there. It was a very fun trip too. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, but you'd have like H3 numbers if that had happened while you were out.
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding me? I had like my camera, I had my phone, I had everything with me. I'm like, if
here I am on this cruise, just really fucking hoping to God. I don't believe in God, but I'm hoping to him that I have to shit on deck. And no, everything went fine. It was
my first cruise was actually paid for by a viral video. In 2011, my girlfriend and I went to a Walmart in LA, and some lady happened to be pepper sprayed over video games, right? Or no, she pepper sprayed people.
Oh, and this was the birth of Chris Chan.
I think Chris Chan was prior to that.
No, I'm sure you had nothing to do with that. I'm just glad you're like, maybe it could have been. I mean,
it's possible.
I mean, I keep in mind I'm from LA and I make my living on the internet. Things get, really kind of nasty.
Oh, they can. But the way this worked out though was we happened to just shoot. She actually pulled out her phone. She shot the video of just like a crowd, right? And then I got on Twitter and I'm all like, oh shit, some lady pepper sprayed people over video games at the Porter Ranch Walmart. Video to come. And then I didn't think anything about it. I went to I went and finished my Black Friday shopping. And as I'm waiting in line to leave, I get a message on Twitter from one of Ryan Seacrest's assistants. And they're like, hey, you got that video yet? I'm all like, I will in an hour. And so I popped it up online. I monetized that shit and I made like $800 in fucking 2 days. And my girl,
that ain't bad. If you broke as fuck.
I was broke as fuck. I was out of work and everything. My girlfriend and I decided that we wanted to spend the money on a cruise for my 30th birthday.
No, here's the thing. It's like if you're on Facebook, you've seen those memes where they, it's like Sly Stallone. I had $160 in my pocket. Sold my dog to pay the rent, and then I auditioned for Rocky. Right? It's the future of it's gonna be like. I was down on my luck. I was broke as fuck. I had my girl living with me, and like she didn't have a job, and we were just really hard up. And then this bitch got maced in front of Walmart. Fuck, my life just turned right around.
And the next time you saw me, I'm Daddy 05.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was on Tosh.0 and shit, and I like honestly, like, that like Cash Me Outside girl, I got her pregnant twice. Thank God this is still a pro-choice country. Fuck. But yeah, that's like, that's how my stardom came to be. Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't understand the Cash Me Outside girl. How is it she is valued at $1.3 million?
I don't know. How is it that that dude who, like, he kind of looks like the Hodge twins, like more debonair, sexy fucking cousin, right? Is that like $1 million mugshot guy?
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
motherfucker looked like a male model, right? And he took this like, I'm hard as fuck, yet I still fluff your pillow, girl, kind of fucking mugshot. And apparently that mugshot somehow bought him a house and a fucking luxury car.
Oh, yeah. He was walking on a fucking on a runway here not too long ago.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. I mean, like the fact that like he somehow made money specifically just off of that mugshot. I don't know, man. He must have had like
It was because, well, what it was is
super
because he
Jewish
has
lawyer.
sleepy eyes and high cheekbones.
No, I understand why it is like, all the, like, the ladies and the fucking gay dudes are just like, he's so dreamy. I get that. But what I'm trying to fucking figure out is how he could make money off a mugshot outside of just like media appearances. And even that still, it's like, what do you do? Like, you show up and like, yeah, I got arrested for this shit and that shit. And I was, and yeah, and then they took my picture, and that's why you seen my picture. How fucking far can that take you? Well, apparently, it could take you to a fucking house and a car. To
Yeah, I
cash
mean,
me.
well, it's all it is this someone comes up, they signed him to, a deal, and then they've been clearly using him. His name is Jeremy something or something, whatever. And I mean, that's where he's making the money. Like
I mean,
he's
honestly, well, here's the thing. I mean, like, if you found out like the intellectual property of your own identity could be capitalized on to the point where like just your face, because you took one really good photo at a really surprising time, was able to be put up on a thing that's saying shit like, fucking prosecutors hate him. Find out how this career criminal managed to get off multiple arson accusations with just this one video. Like, click here, and it's just straight somehow fucking clickbait ad revenue. And it's like, yeah, I want to buy a fucking house in the hills and a Maserati because I can. And all of you are fucking worse than I am.
yeah, it's some people just have, I guess you could say, all the luck like that. That's just
Yeah,
all the luck.
yeah, that's why. Well, that's also why. Like we were asking ourselves when we're gonna get around to it, but I'm like, this last time around, I'm like, yeah, Keemstar needs to be the overrated channel. The over on our on the Saints. Don't worry, you'll be the over subbed soon. We'll be like, why the fuck do people even watch him anymore?
Yeah,
But,
I'm fully expecting it actually at some point.
no, you'll get there. Don't worry.
See,
But
it'll be why is he so oversubbed, and then like everyone will leave, and then the next one will be like, why is he so undersubbed, and everyone will come back. And...
That's how my shit works. People are like, why don't you have more subs? I'm like, I don't know. Why don't you tell your friends about me?
Well, out of curiosity, how many subs did you get when you did the video for Sargon?
All right. Funny thing about that video, to be honest with you, he asked me like a week prior. He didn't say how long his fucking holiday would be. So I wanted to make a video that was really worthwhile as much as I could, right? And I wrote probably about 5,000 or 6,000 words trying to come up with something to talk about. And then finally I gave up. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna do something that's worthwhile to me. Wrote that. I've almost gained about like 4,500 subscribers from him.
Nice.
I was at like 18 and a half then. I'm right now I'm at what? 22,400 and change, right? So 22 and a half. Yeah, so it was a nice fucking boost. With that though, it's been funny though, because I've been wanting, like, that's why I actually started doing anti-social justice YouTube. And I mentioned it in the streams and shit, but family court fucked me good and hard for a good long time.
That's how it usually seems to go.
Yeah. And it was always funny to me because, like, you get these MRA and even MGTOW, like the MGTOW channels talk about it, the MRAs talk about it, but you don't really ever get that much about it. It's always something that's just kind of mentioned. And I figured, fuck it. Well, if I get a spot on Sargon's channel, I'll do this. But when I finished the video, I was just about done editing it, and he was like, "Oh, dude, I'm heading home tomorrow. I was hoping you'd get that to me sooner." Just like, fuck, really? God damn it! This is what I get for like putting thought into a YouTube video. But then he agreed to host it, and I'm just really glad that kind of fucking message was able to get out to that. Because if you're gonna be like anti-feminist, there's no firmer ground to stand on than family law.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think that, and that's one of the things when it comes to the discussion of anti-feminism. It never really boils down to the whole family law thing, or like unfair family court practice, tendencies to like really penalize men and everything else. It always boils down to like, I want to say like non-important issues.
Honestly, they go on a lot of times. I notice MRAs, and I'm saying this as somebody who's sympathetic and favorable to them. But MRAs have a tendency to sort of try and go onto feminist ground. Like feminists will say something stupid, and so they'll get involved in that argument because that's where they want to beat them. They think they need to beat them on what they're talking about. And there's a reason feminists never really actually talk about family law unless it's in like the comfortable hive conditions of a HuffPo blog, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so I mean, when I made that, it was funny because there were a lot of people who were like, "Oh shit, okay, I'm really fucking happy to hear someone talk about this." And yeah, I mean, that was kind of what I started. That's a big reason these days. I can't say with as much certainty as I used to that, like, oh, you know what, MGTOW is an interesting thing to me. Because it is. I mean, I'll watch someone like not Sandman, fucking Spetsnaz. I don't always agree with the dude, but his reasoning is very sound. He's calm and he's presenting a case, and it's mostly philosophical. And then you get like Angry MGTOW, and it's just this shouty fucking I'm William Wallace, I'm gonna win this war kind of shit. Shut the fuck up, man. You are exactly what makes things difficult. I used to work I used to work with legislators here in New Hampshire, which is one of the worst states to be a dad in. And I remember one time I had a GOP House rep who was working with me, and he's like, "I really want to work with you because you got a lot of experience with the left, and I don't know anything about it, and I'd like to bring them in." And we talked to this sort of grassroots group we had sort of helped build, and there was so many like straight up angry conservative MGTOW types there, and they would say shit that would fucking blow anything out of the water. Like I was telling him one time, I'm like, "Well, gay marriage is now the law of the land here. We should talk to gay marriage groups who is still around to talk to them about how family law is fucking dangerous to everyone who gets involved, and that now that it's part of their thing, gay divorce is going to be a thing." And he was all aboard, and then all of these MGTOW type people were like, "Oh, fuck that, I'm not standing next to any fucking queers, fuck that shit, and these fucking feminist cunts, I'm not going to talk to them." Like, oh, you're not helping, man. That's why we can't get anything done.
Well, yeah, and it very much boils down on that whole political line thing. But I will be right back. I need to go use the bathroom. I've been sitting here for like 2 hours, so give me like a minute or two to do that.
That's fine. Yeah, I'll just control your stream real quick.
Well, I gave you mod powers.
I noticed that. I have a wrench.
So you're fucking welcome.
Wrench. There we go. Now all of you fuckers in the chat will know what power really is. Now, why should you stop drinking Kool-Aid? In my experience, if you're drinking someone else's Kool-Aid, you never saw it prepared. look at a tile ceiling, and if it looks like it's breathing, then there's more than just Kool-Aid there. That doesn't mean stop drinking it. That's entirely up to you. But keep that in mind. More questions. Give me questions. Is grade A overrated now? I will say the fact that he hasn't uploaded a video in over a month would tell me that grade A is probably either overrated or he's dead. Grade could be dead. He does like Xbox, and he's the kind of guy that I imagine if, he maybe, let's say, broke certain bones, he wouldn't necessarily seek treatment if he was balls deep in a particularly long game. And if that's the case, I could kind of see him just sort of fading off, just sort of drifting away. Maybe in his sleep after a long campaign with his infected and swollen, broken bones. So, seriously, not a single question. You all seriously join this stream to listen to Mundane Matt. I'll answer questions on his behalf. Him giving me a wrench and this stream effectively gives me that. That's as bad as leaving JonTron alone with Dr. Lehman. Except smaller audience. What? That's somebody added. That's not a question I understand. 14 words. I can come up with 28 words if I want. I answered that. Why you should stop drinking Kool-Aid. Don't stop drinking Kool-Aid. Just be aware of what kind of Kool-Aid it is. Santa, guess who? You guessed makes me sick, Matt. He swears more than he breath. Well, I also English more than you comment. So, I win again. Should I stop drinking antifreeze? Mr. Shadow, I'm going to ask if you've been drinking antifreeze this entire time. Just sort of measure up the effects it's had, and if it's not been negative and you're enjoying yourself, go for it. When's the Goon review? Oh, that's coming. Have I ever done a porno? No, but I have shot them. Any special guest lined up for YouTube Saints? Every guest is special. Every one of them. Why am I so hot? Effortlessness. It goes a long way. Let's see. If you were the figure in your icon in real life, what would you do? So you're saying if I'm the devil, what would I do? I would probably
destroy feminism.
I would ban everyone in every chat, everywhere. There would be no more chat. Is the wrench thing an inside joke? No, it's legitimately like anytime, if I know someone who's hosting a stream, I want power in their channel. Yeah. It's a neurosis kind of thing. Will Mundane Matt give you a wrench? No.
See, once you start giving them out, they all want them. That's just how it is.
Yeah. No. Listen, no. I mean, I earned this because otherwise I would have made things even more unstable without a wrench. I'm not going to do shit with the wrench, but I would have made trouble without it. Now I have it. I'm satiated. I'm good. So yeah, again, any special guests for the up to YouTube Saints? No. Should I not eat yellow snow? That's up to you, man. I'm not here to judge. If you ever find yourself in Worcester, you'll buy me a cheap beer. That's all that exists in Worcester. Yeah, for this coming week, you're gonna love it. I mean, they might cringe a little bit. I don't know.
So yeah, who is your guest for the next episode of YouTube Saints?
I don't know how to do an impression of that person. So, what do I think of paganism? At some point in my life, the odds are good that I will piss on a tree that someone prays to. So,
probably.
Yeah, well, no, but the whole by extension of factor there, I'm kind of in favor of it. I like the fact that I could just sort of drunkenly wander by a thing, take a leak on it, and then maybe a week later, a bunch of kids who like fresh out of Hot Topics will start praying to it as though it was going to grant their 3 wishes. I love that.
And then they're covered in your pee.
They don't need to be covered in my pee. That's a different kind of worship. That's a different cult altogether.
That's a Donald Trump Russian hotel kind of worship.
God damn, you're bad at this.
I am.
Oh my god, it's a fucking tempted to just make a Dennis Miller reference, but it would be too goddamn obscure.
Whatever happened to him?
He's a conservative commentator now.
Okay. I wasn't aware that they actually had conservative commentators that were comedians.
Well, I mean, there has to be an easy and very, very generous and kind way to describe Steven Crowder, right?
Oh, of course. I think there's a generous and kind way to describe anybody. You can describe them by using just the most base attributes, like that person is a male, and yes, I assume their gender.
Or like that person isn't funny, and they're not a good comedian.
Yes, that is a fair and gentle way to describe Steven Crowder.
Yeah, see, this is the Bearing Mafia, by the way. You got to say something nice,
right?
One that you don't like.
Okay.
By the way, everyone, all 88 of you who are watching, the Bearing hashtag Bearing Mafia. You pay a compliment. No, you straight up, you pay a compliment to somebody whose ideas you despise. I told Christy Winters just today that despite, regardless of the merit of the shit she constantly talks, I admire her sincerity. Hashtag Bearing Mafia. Kill them with kindness. Exactly. Kill them with kindness. You take kindness, you drop it into a sock, kind of tie the end up, swing it, get a good swing, and you
pillow party them.
Exactly. You let them know how great they are. Forcefully as
just run up on them and go like, "Fuck you, Gomer Pyle or Private Pyle," and then beat him with the sock. And clearly, no one over the age of like 25 will get that reference.
Listen, Tom Selleck would probably compliment Michael Rowlands on his mustache. And you know what? His mustache game is very tight. Hashtag Bearing Mafia. Michael, you're welcome.
What the fuck is the Bearing Mafia? I'm out of the
Bearing Mafia. It's a hate group on the internet that exists solely to compliment people who complain about being on the receiving end of anti-SJW hate, for instance.
Sure.
I mean, Bearing's trying to show that he can be gracious because he's going to be running for parliament.
Wait, is he legitimately running for parliament?
I really don't think so. I did kind of make that up.
Okay. Sorry, I'm not too familiar with his life, so if you say something like that, I don't know if you're telling the truth.
Oh, no. I'm very aware of that, and that's why I say it. But
okay, that's good. Well,
no, Bearing Mafia, no. Yeah, it's we came up with a stream he came up with a stream last night. Everyone really likes to get on the whole like, oh, you're just about ponage. I mean, that one janitor today, oh my god, that was a lovely Twitter exchange I had with him. He is sadly as dumb as he appears to have become, and it's like, I don't associate, I don't have exchanges with channels that are just about ponage. He was saying this to Vernaculus.
Wait,
Vernaculus.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, Vernaculus is like a likable teal deer almost, except with personality. He was trying to say that. I was having an exchange with him. And then he's like, "Oh, what a great straw man using the term regressive left." I'm like, dude, this all started about a video you made about toxic masculinity. Come on. But at the end of it, I was reminded, Bearing Mafia, it's important. And I agreed that the both of us have excellent hair. See?
All right, that's a compliment.
Exactly. That's hashtag Bang Mafia. So you can go and let like Christy know that like her glasses frame game is fucking on point, right? You could you could let Francesca know that she has excellent lighting in all of her videos.
You know, I've never said a word to Francesca, and I'm blocked by her. I'm pretty sure it's the whole block bot thing, but it just cracks me up when I come across a random SJW on Twitter, and it's like, oh, what are they about?
Matt, I'll be honest, like you are the farthest thing from an actual shitlord I can think of. So at least in like the shitlord sphere of things.
Well, yeah, that's not my angle with this whole.
No, you're like you know it's like you're like an entertainment channel's version of David Pac-Man. Yeah.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. Okay, I was on a stream with David Packman like 2 weeks ago, and I said, David, you're like the Mr. Rogers of news channels on YouTube. Okay, so don't fucking patronize me, all right? Listen, no, I have a specific style that I partake in, you know, and that's a certain way. I'm going to be on the Drunken Peasants in studio next week, I think, and they're sometime soon, and so they want me to, you know, go fucking all out and shit. So I'm like, all right.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It's like you're gonna weigh in on Crystal Pepsi. Whoa.
Hey man, I weigh in a lot of dumb shit.
No, it honestly, you know what? I'll be honest. I liked hearing that TJ is not a cunt in person, that he's actually like a really fucking cool guy, just likes to be around people.
Yeah, actually he was pretty chill. Like I watched him make out with a guy. That was interesting. But they were both very nice. Everyone, the thing is, yeah, everyone was pretty chill. You know, I had a lot of
a fucking hedonist, basically.
Oh, very much. Yeah, he's very much a hedonist.
Yes, he's just like handing out MDMA everywhere, just like just grabbing people in like really tender ways.
You know, say, hey, nice to meet you. Here's an amazing atheist hand job. You know, there's.
I was like, well, I don't know about the atheist part. That was a pretty good hand job, though.
Yeah, true. Carrot asked in the chat, how tall is TJ? He's fucking tall. Yeah. He is tall. When I met him last year, I was like, first thing I said to him is, you're a fucking giant.
Oh, dude, well, you know Gary Edwards?
Gary's Mod? That guy?
No, Gary Edwards. Brilliant fucking, he's got a channel of his own. I think he was a professor of philosophy, I think.
Oh, wow.
He's like a left progressive, self-identified feminist, but he's just, you know, on the shitlord side of things as it was. Calls intersectionality a bunch of horse shit, at least in the way it's presented. The motherfucker is 6'8".
Jeez.
Yeah. And then I found out a random accam is like 6'3" or 6'4".
Really? He doesn't look like that.
No, he doesn't look like a giant tall dude, but he's just the giant tall dude. And yes, Rex, here's the thing. I do plan on illegally entering Canada. I'm saying like legally I am banned from the country. That is kind of, and I grew up in a border state. It's bigger reason to actually go there than any other. I want to be an illegal immigrant and just get drunk for a weekend and then go home. It's fucking Canada. Why would I want to stay around? But yeah, no, that's the thing.
I don't know. Canada is pretty nice.
Mr. Shadow still has nightmares with the video TJ did. Yeah. Why?
Oh, yeah, I know that video.
Yeah. Oh no, I just saw why cause. Why cause what? What? Canada? Exactly. I'm banned because they realize that Justin Trudeau would vaporize the moment I cross the border. He'll be overwhelmed both by good progressive sentiment and, more importantly, alpha male vitality.
Oh, real quick. Jack Barnhart says, Gonna round out the donations tonight to 20 from that 420 thing earlier. Loving the Mundane Matt show so far. Thank you very much, Jack. Yeah, I like doing it too. It's gonna get better as I finely tone. I'm getting tired. My brain is kind of shot. As I figure it all out.
All right, fuck this shit. It's 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I gotta go to bed myself.
I'm gonna bounce.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much.
No, it's fun, Matt. Good night.
Good night, man.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, go fuck yourself too.
I have a wrench now.
I can take that away.
Oh, but at what cost, Matt?
Oh, I don't know. Push your luck and find out, or I might find out, or whatever.
Listen, I could be friends with Ralph or do it overnight. You don't want to know the kind of nightmare.
Yeah,
you know what? I'll send him a tape measure with like 6 extra inches on it. So he's just gonna pull that shit up. It's like, oh my god, I'm 6'3".
That motherfucker. God,
that's why I buy fucking tape measures from Thailand, right there.
Sure, you just get
the everybody. Yeah, it makes everybody happy. It's kind of like being, Ethan Ralph in Tokyo. Like, wow, I can't afford anything, but I'm bigger than everyone. So, all right, I'm out.
All right, man. Good night. Okay, so I was just reading the chat here for a second. I should probably get close to wrapping this thing up. We've been on for quite some time. So if you guys got any final questions, go ahead and ask them. I'll hang up for a few more minutes, and then we'll go from there. I like to keep these streams like slower, not slower, like maybe hour and a half, 90 minutes. That way it's kind of like it doesn't go on for too long. Cause you know how sometimes you get to the end of a good thing, you can start feeling like a stream start to wind down. You don't want it to linger on to the point of where you're like running for 7 hours, like there's 2 people and you're just like talking to yourself. Or you want to keep it short, but then keep it fun. Keep them coming back for more. Any thoughts on the ads question? You have to re-ask me that ads question right now, because I forgot. Has it been 3 hours? Fuck, I only meant to do this for like 90 minutes. But it's all good. It's all good. It's good talking to Wizard of Cause. I like Nick quite a bit, and it's good chatting with you guys and everything. Okay, how do the advertisers say they? Well, the thing is, they don't actually advertise on Cinemax because Cinemax is a subscription-based service like HBO, Showtime, Starz. So they don't really run ads on those channels. But I get your point about the iffy content. Again, it really just really depends on the advertiser themselves. Advertisers usually have a bigger say in where their ads go. And as YouTube continues to give them more control, it's going to be a thing. So now that from what I know, from what I saw on Rich from Review Tech's Twitter tonight, there's like this the people will like start putting your content into a bubble, and it'll be like like strongly offensive, suggestive in content, whatever, and that kind of shit is just gonna like fucking be bad. So I don't know. I'm hoping. I don't know. News networks, they're news. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. And I don't know what to do. I just do not know what to do. So at this point, I'm just holding on. That's literally all I can do is hold the fuck on. And I'm hoping. And you guys have been really great too. These streams are a lot of fun because of that shit. Helps me kind of just connect with people and have a conversation and then go from there. I know you don't want to lose your favorite creators, man, and that's honest to God, it's not your fault. That's the issue here. It's not your fault. If people leave, they might just relocate. They might just move to a new platform or something. There's always alternatives. But the thing is, YouTube here is where the most views are coming from. It's where all the eyeballs are. Your favorite creators aren't going to leave, but they might slow down their work. It's one of the reasons why I'm doing the Mundane Match show is because that is a culmination of 3 to 5 stories a day, depending on what I want to talk about. And I don't have to, I can lump it together and have a better shot of those videos, maybe getting past the ad problem than not. And it's just, I don't know when the ads are going to come back. And I'm already looking for work, and hopefully it won't come down to that. I'm hoping, at least. I'm really hoping. So Milo's gonna get beheaded by Antifa, maybe. Good night, Gun Doge. Daniel, I haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy yet, so I do not know what to. I don't know the soundtrack yet. I don't want to know until I see it. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with the YouTube stuff, and none of us really do right now. It's just one of those things where you just have to kind of hold on. It's an unstable. I think it's fair to say that. I think it's fair to. Sorry, I think it's unfair to criticize somebody for, like, putting their faith in YouTube to be a constant source of income. I don't think it's nice. I don't think it's good to make fun of those people. For a long time, YouTube was fine with that. There was no changes with that. There was no reason to suspect that there was going to be a problem. And then all of a sudden, PewDiePie had to go and fucking go on Fiverr and get a video that says "Death to all Jews" and everything. I don't blame Felix for any of this, but you can kind of see where it may have started. Never mind the British government pulling out because advertisements were running on nationalist videos as well as pro-ISIS videos. So it's awesome shit. Awesome shit. I don't know. I don't know what's coming on next. So yeah, anyway, guys, I'm gonna fuck off. I'm gonna fuck off to bed real quick. But real quick, Graydon says, does this open the door for companies like Twitch to take over the new media sphere? And no, not really. I would say Twitch isn't going to fuck around with anything other than streaming. Why complicate things and starting making enough money? You'll see something like maybe more like VidMe getting that opportunity, but then again, VidMe is going to go for like garbage ads that are just going to be a couple cents here and a couple cents there. But yeah, that could be a thing. Honestly, what this is all going to boil down to is crowdfunding. That's what it's going to boil down to. And again, that's where you guys who like multiple channels are going to be left with a real Sophie's choice about who you support. And that again becomes, you're going to start seeing a lot more pandering, a lot more shilling, a lot more all these things, because people are going to be desperately afraid of losing your dollar per month. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's just, I don't know. I expect that to get way worse before it even gets remotely better. The only way it will stop that kind of nonsense from happening will be if the advertisements come back in somewhat of a sustainable way. In the meantime, I have no idea though. And it's just like, but I'm trying not to think about it every day, all day. I'm trying not to think about it. It's there. That's the sad thing. I wake up in the morning, I check my analytics, and it's all like, you did, like 70,000 views today. Oh, but you've only made like fucking $30. And some people don't even make that much on way more views depending on the content. So it's just like, you're just like, wow, it's like the love of creating the content is still there, but the time allotment for that content is now not being, covered as it previously was. And it just makes it this, it's not that you don't want to do it. You just get demoralized, like you just become demoralized to the whole situation because there's no end in sight at this point in time, but things are going to get better. I have full faith that things are going to get better. But yeah, it's kind of a I guess a downer thing to end the whole situation on. But no, the whole thing is we creators wouldn't be here without you. And the reason why we like AdSense is because that seems to be the best possible course of action when it comes to you guys getting the content you like to watch for free and us getting paid for it, right? There's where that whole situation comes in. That trading of time comes in, or, whatever. But then now, that's going away. So, yeah, it's just, it's all, I don't know. I'm just kind of tired. So I think I'm gonna wrap this up, guys. But I'll be back on tomorrow night. Probably, definitely, yeah, tomorrow night. So I don't think I'm gonna do one on Thursday because I'll be doing the Patreon stream. So And that will be a call-in one too. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. But anywho, I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic night. Thank you again for hanging out with me for a while, and peace out.